Hi, we're still alive. Welcome to Only in Early Access, a podcast that used to come out once every month. It doesn't do that anymore because I work retail. I believe you're a pharmacy tech or something like that. And
No, just well, I work in the retail industry, but like it's more
which
like
gets busy enough all year round, especially
yeah,
during retail holiday seasons, also
yep,
known as everyone and their mother is sick because they don't wash their hands well enough season. So
nope.
I'm sure you're quite fucking busy during that time. It's just kind of a busy time. We live in capitalism. It's busy. This does not pay our bills. If it did, we would have done it those months. So until it pays my bills in some manner that's viable, we're just not gonna do a show in November and December. That's why we just disappeared. Because it wasn't fucking happening.
It was hectic. It was real
It was
hectic.
bad. It was, dude, I felt like I was gonna, like, become a serial killer. I work at Walmart overnight, just for context, and anyone who's ever worked overnight retail is like, how are you not a serial killer yet? I don't know, honestly. I'm, like, almost mid-30s, and I've spent most of my adult life working overnight retail. I have more experience in years there than like my managers these days because I'm in my 30s and I've been doing this since I was 21. So I'm just like, bruh, finna kill a motherfucker if he looks at me too much. Yeah, welcome to a podcast. We're back. It's January 2025. Oh, we're suddenly much closer to 2030, and that's giving me various emotions. In the same way that I'm 35 this December, and I'm like, oh, we're suddenly much closer to 40, and it's giving me emotions. As you can see,
We're definitely in 40 then.
we're still the good, same, absolute chaotic duo that shouldn't be allowed to do a podcast that you know and love. Nothing has changed. We just took the end of the year off because
Yeah,
life.
life.
Yeah, cool. So this is probably going to be one of our bigger episodes. Or the hosting I pay for is like 6 hour limit. We've never hit that 6 hour, but January obviously being the first episode after the 2 month break means we're kind of trying to recap everything we played that we can even remember from November, December, and January, and gaming news. And there was Jeff Keighley's Winter Fest
Yeah, Game
extravaganza
Awards. Yep.
happened. And in which I continue the ongoing bit that I will just add one or two new words to describe poorly Jeff Keighley's winter and summer events and refuse to say them correctly till the day someone holds a gun to my head and asks me if I want to try it again. At which
Maybe
point I will
someday.
stare them dead in the eyes because I'm nearly 40 and double down. That gun's not even loaded. I'm calling your bluff. And I watched you load it. I don't give a fuck. I'm like lesbian James Bond out here. I'm ready to die any day, bitch. Okay. All right. Coffee's kicking in. It's been a week. It's been a week. Decisions have
It,
been made. Critical decisions. News has happened. It's been roughly 3 months at this point since our beloved 200 listeners, if they're still around, have checked in. Although they're probably like, yo, these motherfuckers, they started to get growth and then they just vanished. But now we're back.
we're back.
I uncanceled the show. We're back.
He was just like, you know what?
TikTok is back as well. That's also happened. There's been a whole TikTok ban and reinstate in the time since we were last here. And we have a new president. God save us.
Oh god. No, 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 no.
Yo, did you hear how Trump said like one of the first things he's gonna do is he's gonna completely, fully release and declassify all the JFK and MLK stuff?
I don't believe him. He
Bro,
said that.
bro,
He said
yeah,
that.
no, no, no,
He
no,
said
no, no.
that
So,
before.
so no, no. Here's the deets on this though. He might actually be for reals this time because last time what did get put out was because of him because it just happened to become on the it should be unclassified now during his first term. However, CIA said a bunch of stuff still needs to like not be leaked out for like they fought him on it. Like he wanted to leak it all last time, dude. And they said no. They stopped him. Dude, did you see how he named like Mel Gibson and John Voight to like ambassadors to Hollywood. Dude,
Yeah,
he's gone
that's
full
what
circus
about-
mode, and I've never been less afraid, actually, because I'm watching this and I'm like, you were way more dangerous to me as a queer woman the first time around because you had more friends than enemies in this business, and you somehow seemed more stable then. Now you seem like you know that you're on a time limit until the wolves come for you when you no longer have the presidential immunity because you can't run again. America is so messily built, it's actually kind of hard to become a dictator here because the system is, like, bad but good. And I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be like popcorn for me. I think I might actually enjoy this one because I don't live in a southern state this time. I live in a super progressive state, and I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna be chill. I'm gonna be chill. This is just like Biden 2.0, except oranger and fatter to me. Ain't nothing changing out here. I still go to work. I still pay my bills. Ambassadors to Hollywood are being named, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, beloved current Hollywood actors. Chicks, no, John Voight and fucking Mel Gibson. Bro, he's lost it. He's lost it, and it's like, I'm watching the Republican Party unravel in real time. This is the fun era for me. Last time was scary. This time I'm like, oh, you guys are not together. The unity is a lie. It is, the cake is a lie. There is, you guys, Elon Musk is like getting into beef with Asmongold and like leaking government documents. And I'm just like, bro, he didn't even officially become president before it unraveled this time. I love it. Fucking America, where anything can happen.
It really can.
The beauty of a Russian roulette two-party system is technically you're living most of the time. Only one of those chambers actually has that bullet. All you have to do is not be holding the gun at the time. Woo! It's gonna be a year. It's gonna be a year for life, the industry, a lot of things. Dude, have you seen some of the recent news in the industry? Are you aware of some things? Don't worry, we'll talk about that later in the news segment. Boy, do we got some stories hot off the press. Hot off the press. So we've rambled for almost 10 minutes as per standard. Same show, same shtick. Let's go. Do you want to start with news, or do you want to start with shit we played over the last couple months? And would you like to start, or do you want me to start?
Let's see. I guess we could start with news just to see how much.
We're mixing it up.
We're
2025.
mixing
The
it
news comes first. Welcome to the news. Okay. God. The news, mine's definitely, the problem is because of how insane and not being, like, knowing we were agreeing to take a break ahead of time because that was decided after the fact. My notes are not as good as they should be, but this time next year, I'll still be, like, actively taking notes, knowing that this is all for January, so we'll do the best we can. But this is basically trying to cram 3 months of news into our normal 1 month of news segment. Not that we report on everything anyway.
Exactly. But we report on whatever we find interesting.
Whatever catches our eye, really. There's too much shit. You want to keep it simple? Let's just start with the fucking Game Awards.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, my lawyers are calling me. Hang on one second. Yes, let's start with the, Jeff Keighley's extravaganza winter fairy light nighttime showtime fun hour.
Let's go.
This show is worse than it's ever been.
Yes.
Excellent. As is per the program, whatever. What is it like people say? The business like plan model. You know, like those corpo type boys. That manager was really trying to get you to say you love being here for their own, like, ego.
Oh, God, yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? This is our, like, we're a family here motto thing, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's the Walmart way, or whatever the fuck.
Oh, God, no.
Ugh, kill me.
Oh.
Game Awards. Naughty Dog finally shows off what they've been working for. Intergalactic Heretic Prophet. A game with more branding in a trailer than anything I've ever seen. And yet, I'm not annoyed. Because it was done in a way where I'm like, okay. Cool. Great. This is kind of giving, like, 90s anime sci-fi vibes, where I'm like, Yeah, we did kind of just, like, accept that branding was gonna be everywhere back in the 90s when we were doing sci-fi, and then we tried to, like, do this weird era where we pretended there would be, like, not as much branding in sci-fi dystopians or different worlds, and it's like, come on, man. Come on, man. Have you seen us? We all knew it was gonna be, like, Porsches in space and shit. We all know it's gonna be exactly what Futurama is. We're not getting anything nicer than that if we get it at all. Let's not kid ourselves any longer, okay? We've made it this far, but we all know that if we get anywhere, it's only gonna be capitalism. That's the best we're ever gonna get. People like having too much money. Yeah. Not really much about it. We don't really know what type of game it is. It is, of course, just a CG trailer. People have argued whether that's gameplay at the end. It's like, even if it is, it doesn't really tell you anything about what the game is and how it plays. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it could be anything at this point. From exactly what people think it is, where it's like, okay, so The Last of Us space. Or it's like a survival horror, or maybe it's more like an Uncharted, or maybe it's a fucking Devil May Cry style game. We don't know. But I think there's, like, been some casting new we have about it. What's his name is in it? I'm gonna mispronounce it. He plays, like, the guy the lady's hunting in the trailer, who's, like, on this planet that, like, no one's come back from in, like, 800 years or something. I think, what's his name?
What?
Neil... Are you listening?
I'm listening, but wait, who? Wait, huh? Like,
I don't know his name, so I didn't say it, because I'm not going to pronounce it. If you can't keep up,
800
like,
years?
look at...
What character? What?
Did you watch the trailer?
I watched the trailer. But
Okay, so
I
the
also
trailer
played
literally
along.
tells you all that. It's like no one's been... no, there's been no communication from the planet where the guy they're hunting, the character in the game that you play, is a bounty hunter looking for a guy. Who's played by a very famous actor, who the last known location of his ship is to go to a planet that no one's had contact with in, like, 800 years, because, like, anyone that goes there never comes back for some reason.
Okay, I'm looking at...
All that is in the trailer,
Oh,
and also in,
okay.
like, 7 articles that Neil Druckmann did interviews in. Come on, man.
Bro, it's been forever.
Bro, that trailer gave you the whole plot. I just really like this guy. This guy. Also, it wasn't forever. That was, like, only 3 weeks ago. This was December.
It's
It's not even a month ago.
It feels like it's been forever.
Okay. We said Game Awards. See, this is what he wants to do, the news first, and then he can't even keep up. This
I'm
man's...
looking because I see the character you're talking about. I'm looking through the
I don't
trailer,
remember the
and I'm
actor's
like,
name.
I've
He's
seen him.
Yeah, well, he's in Marvel stuff. He's in the Eternals. He plays what's his name? Like, I don't remember his name, and I'm not gonna, like, do the disrespect of pronouncing it like a fucking dumb white person.
Let's see.
He's a very famous
no,
actor.
no.
He's in a lot of stuff.
Kumali Nanjiani?
Yes, that guy. He's in a lot of stuff. That's the guy the character is looking for in the trailer.
Oh, he was in Stuber. I fucking forgot that movie.
You can actually see what people on the one of the walls, the camera, like, pans across in the trailer. You can see a photo with, like, 5 people in it, and his character's in that photo, as I believe is the character that you'll play as in that, and, like, 2 or 3 others, and people are like, okay, so there's your cast. There's your main people that it will focus around. But other than that, like, no one knows anything about this game. Other than what we just kind of recapped. That's it. That's all we got.
Yeah, that's all we got.
Ghost of Yotai, something like that, was announced. The sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, and sequel in the sense that it is same world, takes place, I think it takes place, like, a long time after, and it takes place in a completely different area. I don't remember, I think it's like 100 years or something, because there's guns.
Yeah, it takes place a lot further in the future, and it's supposed to take place in a different era. Yes.
Yes, and the main character is voiced by Erika Ishii.
Yes.
Who I'm a huge fan about. And by a huge fan about, I mean I'm super homosexual about her existence. So, and you know, she does really good voice acting work. So, but I'm like, absolutely, I will play Ghost of Tsushima again, but with lady character and a different plot and a different zone in a different era of time, so it can do whatever the fuck it needs to do to be really good. Yeah, that sounds great. That was a really good game. Take my money. Like, as much as I'm like, Sucker Punch, can I please get more Infamous sometime? I'm not mad that I'm getting more Ghost of Tsushima. Let's be very clear. I would just like to have both. Both would be good. Both would be incredible. But Sucker Punch doesn't really do that. They do one thing at a time. And that's why their games are always really good. I would just love to go back to Infamous sometime.
Infamous would be so good.
Infamous is so insane. Infamous, Second Son and First Light still remain some of my favorite games, and I will never forget the experience of getting to the end of Infamous 1 ever for my entire life. It's like etched in my brain like I fucking wrote that scene. It is maybe one of the most like core experiences of my entire video game life, where I was just like, I sat down in awe, and I was just like, get the fuck out of here, game. That's crazy. I couldn't believe that was the twist. I was like, what? If you haven't played Infamous, the first game for PS3,
I have.
yeah, you should definitely play that game. It's a really good game.
Oh yeah, no, I played.
It's a masterpiece. It's Infamous 1 is a masterpiece.
I definitely have played the first Infamous. It's been a long time, so I don't remember any of the details, but I do remember playing it. And
I mean, I can literally give you the twist right now verbatim. The game gives it to you.
Oh,
like,
it was it was
it's
cool. Like it literally was cool. The whole thing about this is that.
oh,
Was
it's
like
yeah. Oh yeah, no, it is an insane sequence of events, but the journey there is also immaculately executed. Like, absolutely love those games. But Ghost of Tsushima was one of my favorite games of all time. Straight up, I fucking adore that game. That game is incredible. And Ghost of Tsushima, gameplay-wise, is one of those few games that I say that, like, this is the game where I almost, like, it's the only time I get into that style of, like, I'm just gonna run this over and over and over until I'm perfect at it. And then I'm gonna film it. Because visually, when you're just, like, in the flow state and Ghost of Tsushima, especially on the higher end area stuff, like at the end game level toughness, when you've just understood how combat works in that game, and you're just playing the goddamn game the way it's meant to be played, in the most, like, optimal way, visually, it's just like, you are a Kurosawa joint now, right? Like, you are just like, yeah. Yes, the way of the blade. I understand now. In the sense that, like, when you first played the Batman Arkham games and you fight your first goons, and then you're just like, if you do it well, you're like, I am Batman. Yes, this is what it would be like to be Batman. Ghost of Tsushima, once you've gotten really good at it, literally it's just like, yes, this is how a Kurosawa film goes. It's choreography. You're just, like, executing choreography in a film at that point, because visually it's so striking. And to have more of that, but as a hot lady, voiced by a hot lady, snow region, different weapons. Yo, I saw a Kusarigama. I'm about to, bro, my brain when I saw that Kusarigama, because like the stance system for the sword in Ghost of Tsushima, so simple, so elegantly executed that it seems like it's very limiting, and then the moment you glance at it even deeper for a second, you're like, oh my god, this is so deep. It's so little, but so much. And to get that with, like, another sword, but also to switch to a Kusarigama and have, like, different stances and combo. Oh my god. Bro, I am gonna film so many decapitations in that game. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I am day oneing Ghost of Yotai. Ghost of Yotai. Yo, I'm streaming that. I just get ready for me to like be like, yo, that was sexy as hell. Let's run it again. Instantly load the last save. Do it again, but faster, better. Make it perfect. I min-maxed the combat in that game. It just got to me. I was just like, the leaves flowing in the air, the bamboo whistling, the blood streak as I cut this dude's throat in front of his friend and set my sword on fire. And I'm just like, bro, this is the sickest shit I've ever done in my life. The current God of Wars felt like that too. There's something about like action adventure games these days. We're hitting a real strong point. And I really thought we were pretty strong back in like the Devil May Cry, God of War era. Like those are still good, but like modern adventure action games, like a modern God of War, Devil May Cry 5, we've hit like clearly like a second renaissance of this genre with the current tech, where it's like no. It's just like a really good movie choreography fight scene now if you're good at the combat. And there's something about that that's very compelling to me that makes me want to like get perfect at the combat in ways I never did before. Monster Hunter World was like that, and Wilds, yo, cannot wait. I'm gonna grind the fuck out of Wilds, dude. I will be judging your rank every second of every day if it's not close to mine.
Damn.
Every second of every day. You better be clearing Ray Dow solo within an hour of the game launching. I'll break down your door.
Come on in. You know what? Come on in. Go
Just
for it.
like kicks open and starts holding like the parasite-y fucking crypto shit that they did for like 2 minutes at you.
No,
Look at it! Look at it! Look at it!
You don't need to go that far. You don't need to go that far.
Such a specific targeted threat to you and you only. You don't worry, you can't look at it because it's gone, because it's crypto! It's a scam! I'd just be holding nothing in my hands, just like the Parasite franchise. Oh god, that was a big setup, but it was worth it. It was worth it. See, someday, because we've learned, if you just wait and cope long enough, you get what you want. So someday, if we do the show long enough, I'll make another incredibly long-winded punchline about how much you love Parasite Eve and how much I think it's dog shit. And then you'll pivot to Parasite Eve Remaster coming, like, legit in a good way, and I'll look at it and be like, wow, that actually looks good, fuck me. But we're not there yet. But where we are yet is that Okami is getting a goddamn sequel.
Yeah.
It's been 84 years, but we're gonna get it. Bloodborne believers, hope is renewed. If we just wait forever, eventually they'll have to do it because there's nothing else to do. So if I just make sure that I live to 70, I can get Bloodborne 2. Easy. Easy game, easy life. That game is probably not going to be easy. It'll probably be really hard.
Oh, it's definitely going to be really hard.
So yeah, Okami, getting a sequel. Incredible. Like, that, super unexpected, but huge highlight. Like, honestly, that's my biggest 3, like, takeaways, except the next one I have, Blood of the Dawnwalker.
Yes.
Yes, okay, we need to talk about this entire trailer. This, first of all, this is the first game from Rebel Wolves, which is made up of former CD Projekt Red devs that left to start a new thing after Witcher 3, and the director of the studio is the former director of The Witcher 3, and I believe one of the DLCs. Like, they left on good terms, they just didn't want to do The Witcher anymore, and they weren't interested in Cyberpunk. They just left after a successful tenure to start a new studio, and what they've given us is, hey, do you want to be a cool vampire? Because you're going to be a cool vampire.
Just the coolest, bro.
So interestingly, we've actually learned a couple things about this. I got all this from an Eric's video that was going over stuff, that, like, the director talked about, is that, like, so you are, like, some kind of half-vampire because you worked in silver mines for so long that you're somewhat immune to it, so you can't be, like, fully turned, but you do get all kinds of vampiric powers. The gameplay itself will take place, like, I think it's, like, 20 years after that trailer. And what's happened is that the vampires now rule the land, and the humans, like, are subservient to them, and there's, like, a blood tax that you have to pay, and basically the game is going to take place over, like, a time limit system that is like 30 days, 30 nights to get whatever end you get. And it's not so much as a straightforward path in that these are the bad guys that you are working against, like The Witcher did, even though The Witcher has plenty of, like, choices to make. Ultimately, your ultimate goal is to stop the Wild Hunt, right? Like, that is the bad guy. This game is not really working that manner, in the sense that, like, you've been serving one of the, like, vampire lords, but, like, your family, including the little girl that gets saved in the trailer and all that, has kind of been held as, like, living hostages to keep you subservient. And you're, like, basically, I guess there's, like, a whole, like, kind of, like, civil unrest with the humans coming into play, and vampires vying for power over each other as well, and you're using all this kind of, like, calamity to maneuver your way through it, and do whatever it is you're doing in the game, whether it's the... They don't even really call them main quests, they were like, there's, like, events that move things forward quests is the thing. It's not really main, because as best as I could understand it is, you're going to be really choosing how you go about this in the way that you want, to the point of, like, straight up, like, how much you willing to sacrifice for power. You want to sacrifice that little girl you saved? We're vampires, bro. We're not good people. Like, is the gist of this, is, like, there's not a, like, there is a path forward to, like, retain your humanity as much as you can, but you're also very much allowed to be like, not only am I not gonna retain my humanity, I can, like, betray my vampire lord and take his place by helping the other vampire. Like, you could just go, that's how they wanted it to be designed, which is also why it has that weird, like, sandboxy time limit thing going on. So, like, a lot of this really is gonna come down to very interesting concepts. How's the execution? Is really gonna make or break the game, in my opinion. But that's kind of true of any kind of thing, really. But, I don't know, the good people behind it can make a good game, and they've been working on this for a couple years, so I'm willing to check it out, at least. And I think it's a really bold thing to do. To do, like, a time limit to a single-player sandbox action RPG that kind of, like, gently forces you along, because it's definitely it is something games have toyed with in the past. Legend of Zelda comes to mind, right? Literally a time limit game, but, like, it's not a thing that, like, is done a lot these days. I'm trying to think of other games that have had that, like, I think the Mass Effects had some stuff like that, right? Where it was like, every time you did a mission, the progress of the Reapers also moved, so, like, you couldn't do everything. There's been a... XCOM does it. XCOM does it. Dead Rising, right? Like, games have done this, but it's definitely not been a thing that has stayed in, like, mainstream AAA games a lot. And to see the team that did, like, The Witcher, a thing that, like, lets you kind of take as long as you want, even though the quest is dire, right? But, like, it's a video game. Whereas these people went for a Persona, exactly, right? These people, I feel like I'm getting a better version, darker, more open-ended, grayish Witcher thing that's like, nah, fuck you. It's a video game, but fuck you. You better make some choices. I like that. I like that a lot, so I'm hoping it lands on its feet and comes out swinging and is good, because it sounds really up my alley and interesting. And I hadn't heard any rumors or anything about what these people were doing. So, and I have under my notes here, just in case it's really good. Again, I'd like to state, we don't need Konami. Castlevania doesn't even make good games anymore. I got Blood of the Dawnwalker. We don't need Silent Hill. I have Remedy. We don't need Konami. You know that Blood of the Dawnwalker, by the way, is part of a planned saga. So they've already, like, got story written out for, like, afterwards, which is crazy to think about, because if the game's trying to be very open, but also, like, use time to force you to, like, act, and not video game the fuck out of it, what is the, like, story plot-wise, and how do you have, like, a saga written out, unless you were doing, like, taking a leaf out of, Sucker Punch's, like, book page, right? Because Ghost of is a franchise now, except they went the mythology route instead of chronological route, where it's like, no, because it's in universe, but that's it. We don't have to stick to a character. We don't have to stick to a location. We don't have to stick to a certain era of time. It's just in-universe, go. There's so much more freedom to keep every game fresh and unique and let it stand on its own without overshadowing or being undershadowed. Whereas, like, this is the God of War problem, right? Like, okay, where do we go from 3? Oh, God of War. Okay, that was pretty good. Okay, God of War Ragnarok. More of that, but it's very clearly, like, so the end of that is, if you continue this franchise into a new thing, I personally would be the person who would be like, the next God of War game isn't even God of War. It's a new name, because it's like, no, we're done with this boy. We're on the new boy now. Right? Like, it goes into a new franchise, but you can't really do that when you've called every game God of War. And God of War is that guy, but, like, I think I like this approach I'm seeing, where we're definitely seeing more franchises be like, what about mythologies, though? What if we just let the universe be and stop locking ourselves to the same 2 characters in the same location? Because you end up in situations where, I mean, Assassin's Creed has suffered from this, and other franchises have too, where it's like, okay, but that character was really good. I'm never going to care about anyone after them because they're not that one. Right? Like, it's the Ezio thing. It's like, Ezio had a really nice story. No one else's story is even close to as compelling, so no one cares about any of the characters after it, really. So I really like seeing this from, like, Sucker Punch, and I'm wondering if Blood of the Dawnwalker's saga is kind of planned out in the same, that they're going to be like, regardless of how you play things there, we're going to come back to this world, but it's just going to be blah 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 over here during that year. So it doesn't matter what you did there. Keep the continuity for the player by having none, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Let my choices be my choices and my game be my game, but then just be like, hey, did you enjoy running around playing as that person and doing a story in the world? Would you like to do it again somewhere else with a different story and a different character that has no effect on the experience you had prior, and it's just a whole new thing, but will feel familiar enough to land the nostalgia hits, but develop new core memories? Like, I think that's a much more fun and bolder approach to developing games like this, and I'm happy to see it. That's my fucking, like, Game Awards notes, I think. I have some other notes here for news and shit still and all that. But, did you have anything else from the Game Awards from your end?
So there was so there was the Witcher 4 reveal.
Yeah, just a trailer. Siri is a Witcher now. The Elden Ring spin-off that they opened with, Night Rain, which is, like, basically a randomizer in an alt spin-off timeline of the events of Elden Ring happen, and then instead of what you did, it goes into this, and it's like an alternate timeline thing, and it's 1 or 3 players. That's it. There's no 2. It's 1 or 3. And it's pre-made classes that have, like, more restrictions, but, like, do different things, and it's literally just Limgrave, but, like, randomized with other assets from other games and shit. It's interesting, but I have started playing through Elden Ring, like, kind of properly, but it's gonna take me so long to get through that even once that I will probably most likely never touch Night Rain.
That's fair.
But it was unexpected.
It was unexpected. You're right. It was very unexpected.
Dude, people got scared when
I
they opened
don't know
with
if I'll
Elden
get
Ring.
it myself, but I definitely, well, at least look at it. At least I'll keep up to date on it just to see.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'll probably see some people stream it or something, but I personally, especially having only now been kind of able to cope with the scale of Elden Ring itself, let alone never touching the DLC either, and, like, while I'm enjoying it, I'm still like, I would just so have preferred a Dark Souls 4. Straight up. Like, I don't like the scale of this at all. Like, that if I am able to finish it, it will be years and years and years, because the scale of it unnerves me to the point where I play maybe an hour or 2 at a time. Whereas if I was just playing, like, Dark Souls 4, and I was vibing with it, I'm going to do, like, 16-hour sessions in one zone just to get the layout. right? Like, I want the smaller, more focused experience than this vast, opened nothingness that's overwhelming.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we'll see. Honestly, I'm just kind of like, I'm always on the lookout for the next like Souls experience, but I'm giving Elden Ring another genuine try. I'm enjoying it more on console, but I definitely am still like, it's not quite what I'm looking for, and I'm always looking out for something new. So we'll see. But like, God, I need like a proper From Software one that lands for me, because since Dark Souls 3 DLC, everything's been a flop for me. I didn't care for Sekiro. I don't care about Armored Core 6. And Elden Ring's a struggle for me to enjoy most of the time. So like,
Mhm.
woo,
That's fair. That's fair.
I would love. This is probably why I'm such a fiend for more Bloodborne, because I'm like, come on, give me one more. One more before you piss
One
off
more,
and do
but
all this shit I don't like anymore.
you know, I'm gonna move uh back to something, and then we'll come back to this. But whole there was a whole article done at least in talks about like what's going on with Bloodborne, and it
Mm-hmm.
seems to be um from quote
Is this
unquote
the
from like
Shuhei
a top article.
Yoshida stuff?
Yeah, where it's
Yeah,
because
he
Sony's
shed a
waiting
lot of
for
light on it, where it just kind of seems like Miyazaki's too busy, and that
yes.
Sony hasn't had as much say in what Miyazaki's time is spent on. But that could be changing with Sony having 10% of I think it's, what is it, Katakawa? Is that right? The parent company of FromSoft, which they themselves apparently have been like in talks with Sony to form like some kind of alliance, because there was like a hostile takeover threatening them from like a Korean company that's known for like shady practices and buying up foreign assets like that. And so the basic outcome is that Sony didn't end up buying them, but they now have majority shareholder. So Sony is the
Okay.
largest investor in FromSoft's parent company now, which was the agreed upon decision, because Sony apparently just wanted like FromSoft and the video game stuff, but the parent
Mhm.
company wanted Sony to buy all of them so that they can avoid being hostilely taken over. And the ending agreement was, we don't want to spend all that money because we really just want the video game department, but we will raise our shareholder stake to be majority shareholders so that no one can do a hostile takeover unless Sony sold their shares.
Gosh. Okay. So that's
So
what's going on.
hopefully, like Shuhei Yoshida said, even with that change, like any changes to what Miyazaki gets to do is obviously going to be slow and kept under wraps, but it is significant that Sony is now the majority shareholder in the parent company, and it's what the parent company agreed to avoid a hostile takeover.
Mhm.
So hopefully now Sony is a little more say in it, and with Elden Ring kind of actually wrapping up, FromSoft is known to work on multiple projects, and apparently one of the reasons that there's never been a Bloodborne 2 is that Bloodborne is apparently Miyazaki's favorite, and it's the one he doesn't want anyone to work on without him on it. And Sony's kind of respected that as well, because ultimately Sony owns the IP and could do whatever they want
Yeah.
with it. But they have apparently respected his like creative wishes to be like, look, that one's my favorite. I don't, while I'm alive, I don't want anyone to touch it but me. And they've apparently respected that, which is kind of astounding in this industry. Because, like, they could just fucking turn it into a cash cow mess anytime they wanted. They own the IP. But apparently his wishes on it have been respected, which is why there's never even been a remaster. Because he's never had the time. So we'll see, but it could be in a couple years that like there is an actual chance of something happening with this goddamn property. Especially, and this is kind of tangential soft news, is did you see the recently canceled Sony stuff? That we now
Yeah.
know
The,
what Blue Point was
the God
being
of War
wasted
live
on? A
service.
live
Yeah.
service God of War thing. And I was watching Maximilian's video on it, and he kind of like really hit on the nail that like we are still like in the fallout of the Jim Ryan era of PlayStation, where he was like, because the industry was headed to live service, which we know it did go to, because we're still kind of in it now. We're just hitting the low end of it, and soon you're seeing more live service fail across the last 5 years, which means the live service era is probably over soon. Thank God, because inevitably everyone tried to do it, and it's like, okay, even if there's room for multiple big live service games, you're not gonna be the studio that has 2 or 3. Like, you're gonna get 1 if you're lucky, and you kind of can't, like, make it happen. There's a luck factor that plays in because the amount of players actively you need to be a financially viable live service is so high that there's maybe room for 2 per genre at most, and that's a big fucking stretch.
Yep.
So, like, we're actually seeing with all these live service games flop over and over that Sony's clearly seeing the trend shifting and has indicated that, as with Shuhei Yoshida stepping down, even though he wasn't involved in first-party stuff for the last several years, but, like, people have been stepping down or retiring. There's clearly been a subtle shift happening in Sony over the last couple massive failures, and we definitely see that, like, okay, we're probably looking at the live service era was attempted. They had some wins and some losses, but the losses have added up enough that people are being moved or quietly shoved to new departments or retiring or whatever. It's like, okay, you had your run, but this is just costing too much money. We're shifting because there's no market for this anymore. And thank God. We're probably still gonna see some dumb shit, but the fact that at least this shit got canceled means, look, that sucks that you were wasting their time on that, because Bluepoint is very talented. But, like, I'd rather see cancellation news than more shit come out to flop that's gonna make some idiot go, well, I guess we have to close the entire studio to save our costs, right? Canceling means they might still get to live as a studio and do stuff and not be fucking randomly shut down. So hopefully, God, please, I don't want to see any more live servers. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. More single-player co-op experiences, and you know what? If you're gonna give me like a PvP thing, just make it good. And then fuck off with live service. I don't need that. I don't want it anymore. I just want it to be good and sit there and be good. And just give me, like, I don't know, 5-10 years of server time to fuck around and then shut it off. I don't give a fuck. That's what you used to do and that was fine. I don't give a fuck that I can't play Gears of War 1 anymore. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I don't care. I'd rather you just give me a new, really good Gears of War experience in a couple years like you were. Honestly, like, I'm so sick of seasons and live service that I'm like, can we go back to just DLC map packs if you want to, like, really keep up with the game for its full longevity? Can we, please? Like, honestly, fuck off with these microtransactions, make everything unlockable in game, and just put out a couple DLCs for a thing. Just go back to that. I'm so tired of live service fees and managing all these transactions and managing a season, and do I care about this season as much as that game's season? I'm so over it. Just take my $70, $80 and give me a good old experience and let me have fun for 5-10 years if it's a multiplayer. And if it's a single player, bro, I'll just play it over and over. I've been playing fucking Morrowind since I was 8. What do you want? Like, just shut up and give me the product. Like, I'm so happy to see more death in the live service, because I was, like, not a firm lover of it ever, but, like, I wasn't a hater, but I've become a hater at this point. I am so sick to death of it. Like, actually sick to death of it. To the point where I see the words live service and I'm cringing and I don't want to play the game now. Like, it's bad. I'm just like, oh, I can't anymore. I can't. So hopefully that era's ending, because while there are still live service games that I'm playing that I do like, I don't want more of them. I want infinitely less of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else you got?
There's so much live services, just stuff going on. It's like, you mentioned this before. It's like having the time to just dedicate to a live service game is already way too much, and trying to just juggle a bunch of them is way too tedious and just not worth it. It's
not. And what's crazy is the whole point of live services, because they're all trying to figure out, how do we make sure they're spending all the game on our time so the investors can see how much time. And it's like, bro, I spent way more time on, like, Call of Duties before they would live service. Like, oh, is the DLC pack out? Hell yeah, you know I already bought that map pack. New multiplayer maps, new zombies, let's go. Like, I was spending way more time on non-live service shit.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point where, even though initially and for a long time I was like, you know what, this is a little annoying, but it is nice to have all the maps free, so, like, player base doesn't, like, and the ability to queue into stuff easily or play with your friends isn't gated behind paywall. Fuck it, go back to the paywall. Go back to it. It was better. It legitimately was better. Because I wasn't stressed out by, oh, fuck, there's 2 weeks in the season. I haven't had the time to play. Work's been crazy. I got in an accident. I had, like, a bad 2 weeks, depression. Oh, this game season just started. Like, I'm managing task lists and chores instead of being like, yo, you want to queue up and play some fucking Call of Duty? Let's play some Black Ops 2 real quick. It was just easier back then. I as an adult, I want it to go back to that. Charge me my $80 for the game if that's how much it costs, and then charge me $20 to $40 for the DLC. I don't give a fuck. I would rather pay that than deal with a single other season in any upcoming things ever. To the point where I've actually come to the decision that, like, I'm done playing PvP shooters until if Marathon comes out because the aesthetic caught my eye. And overall, the multiplayer PvP and also team-based, like, shooter that I've had the most fun with for overall, despite the ups and downs of all of them, Destiny. Bungie makes a fucking fun-ass goddamn shooter when they're doing their shit right. And it definitely has seemed that, like, they had a lot of shitty people. They got blizzarded. Boy, was there a lot of fucks at the top of that company, apparently. And I'm like, alright, well, you know what? Diablo's really good to me. I really enjoy it. Maybe Marathon can get there. Sony's been, like, slowly absorbing more of, like, Bungie's, like, teams and not keeping almost any of the management, which I think is very telling. Because usually, if the management's bullshit and getting away with it, it's like, yeah, he got moved over and now he's head of that studio, aka Ubisoft. When it's like, no, we're not keeping the management, but we're just moving the actual developers over to our stuff, it's like, that's very telling to me. That's usually not the case. So, yeah, I'm actually, like, I'm done. I'm not playing any PvP shooter, like, stuff until if Marathon comes out. No Call of Duty, no Overwatch, no Apex, no Fortnite. I'm playing Helldivers, but that's PvE. It doesn't count. But, like, yeah, I'm just, like, I've been playing PvP shooters most of my life, and I think the pivot to live service has made me hate them more than anything else in the world. And I'm just over it, and I'm like, bro, I want my single-player experiences back. I want my multiplayer stuff to just be a self-contained thing. Even once the DLC comes out, that's it. That's all it is. It's never going to change. There's never going to be new shit I have a time limit to experience or get or even figure out if I like enough to fucking bother. And I just queue up and play the game until the next one comes out in 5 years if I care about it. Hell, back in the day, like, you could just go play Gears of War 1 even though Gears of War 3 was new. Those servers were still up. You could just go play. It's right there. I miss it. I think I'm just old, and I'm like, this shit sucks. This live service shit was ass, dude.
The industry just has gotten worse. Like, that's not a... It just, the way things have been going, like, the industry just has...
The greed got to people. You saw the money, and you just went max gas, and it's that whole, bro, quality over quantity every time, and you just went the other way, and I'm just, at this point... Cancellations of live services just make me happy. Good. Cancel them all. Cancel every single fucking one. Could you imagine, like, how many games that, like, flopped if they hadn't had to try and be a live service? And just got to build for a core experience out the gate and given the time to do that? Anthem probably could have been some insane co-op adventure you could play with your buddies. Where you're just like, yo, that was nuts. And then there's a fun endgame to run for a bit, but there's not, like, an infinite grind. We don't need that. We don't need it. You know, like, everything doesn't need to go on forever. Experiences are unique and memorable because they have a fucking finite end. That's the point of living, is that at some point you stop. The point of an experience is that it stops at some point, so I can reflect on what I got from it. Whether that's a movie, a book, an album... a game, yes, you can play it again, listen to it again, but the point is that there is a beginning and end. The Lord of the Rings story is now over. It's done. That's it. Right? Like, it's done. It doesn't need to go on forever. I don't need 3 sequels to Frodo's story afterwards. His story is done. I can read it again if I'd like. It doesn't change. It's right there. And we definitely forgot that in this industry, and it totally sucks, because this shit can't go on infinitely, because even if it can, it cannot possibly maintain enjoyment infinitely. That can only shrink.
It's not sustainable.
No, it's not sustainable in, like, a financial way, or a creative way, or a consumer way, or a production way. It's literally the most unsustainable method of anything, whether you're consuming or creating. Like, infinite is just not sustainable in any manner at all on either side. It's only going to hurt both sides in the long run, and I think we're finally at the point where it's actually hurting the money people enough that they're like, hey, they're not buying our games. They're not even playing them. Or worse, they're buying them and then stopping playing them. They didn't even play into Season 2. The average player doesn't even buy the pass. Right? Like, the era of everyone buying the pass is over, and thank God. This has been like a 30-minute rant about how much I hate this shit now. I need to fucking smoke some weed. Tell me about some good news.
Good news. What good news do we have? Let's see. I don't really have any good news. I am so sorry.
Hyper Light Breaker finally has gameplay you can watch, and you can buy the game. It's in early access.
Yeah, you can play
it's
that
there.
later.
It's there. You can go. You can see what the game looks like now. Diablo Season of Witchcraft is coming tomorrow. Sorry.
Bless you.
And it's all about my favorite class in Diablo 3. Witch Doctor time, baby. Let's go. I'm excited. Diablo's fun. Fuck it. I don't care. It's really fun. What else is good gaming news? I don't have anything either. Do you want to pivot to video game movies? Because I did watch the trailer of Until Dawn. I did, yeah. Yeah, okay, so I went into this expecting to hate it. I love it. I love it because it's not the fucking game. It's not even trying to be the game. It's taking the vaguest understanding of the concept of the game and running away with it and just being like, yeah, we're not gonna do that beat for beat because that game's basically a playable movie. That's stupid. You already watched that. And enough people streamed it that you've seen every possible mutation of every scene. That's dumb. You already watched it. It's literally like famous actors playing all the people and they're modeled like them. Like, right? Like, that is clearly Hayden Panettiere? I don't know how to fucking say her name. You know what I mean? Like, Rami Malek is in there, and you know it's Rami Malek. There's no not knowing that. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
it's the... In there, yeah, exactly, right? And he's in the trailer there, but not as the guy he was in the movie. It's like, it's Peter Stormare. Of course he's there. I love that they just said, okay, we're gonna take the vaguest understanding of Survive Until Dawn, and what if we took all the tropes and red herrings that the game gave you, the fake ghost, the fake killer, when the real thing is Wendigos, and what if we were like, okay, the Wendigos are real, yeah. What if it's a time loop where you die to real killers, real ghosts, real Wendigos, until you figure out how to stop the death time loop? And it's just like, bro, that's not even close to what any of the games, like, play through that game as much as you want. That is not what that game is, right? It's like, not. That, it's not. But it's taking every little piece of the game that is memorable and then being like, fuck that story. You already played it and watched it because it's basically a playable movie. It's really, the Until Dawn type games are the evolution of those those Goosebumps books where you chose the adventure. It's just that in game form.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But because of how good graphics are and the actors literally being modeled into the game, I'm like, if they had just done the same goddamn thing, I would have fucking lost it. I would have been like, I don't need that. No one needs that. I have that now on the PS5. It looks better there. The fact that they just blatantly said, fuck that, no, we're gonna do this, I love it. I love it. I went into it ready to hate it, and then, like, the moment it starts doing the thing, and I was like, oh, this is great. It's not the game at all. I love this.
For me, I was like, okay, let me see. I was more like
I was
open
not
to it.
expecting that. I
For
gotta
me,
be
when
honest.
I was open to it, and then I saw it, and then I'm just like, I don't know. This is one of those things where it's like, I think when it comes to video game movies, um, there's always this you're gonna have expectations because like of course you do, and that's not necessarily inherently like because you're doing a movie about the game, so like there's going to come in certain expectations of it. um I think for me the thing is that there are times where it's just like, okay, if you don't want to do a one-to-one thing of the video game movie of the video game, that's fine, but at least keep some of like, I don't know, maybe the essence, or just like at least keep the story straight enough for the characters there, like something in order to be like, okay, you know what? This was a different thing, but at least it was entertaining. But for some reason, a lot of like the directors or stuff like that are just, I don't know, they're just scared of the video games. They're just like, no, we're gonna do our own thing. And usually when they say that, it ends up being garbage. It ends up being horrible game movie. So it's just like, why pick a video game movie to do if you're gonna want to do just your own thing? Just do your own thing.
But they
It's
did that. That's what this is.
no, but the thing is, it's not but it still uses Until Dawn as a name. It's just like, why not
Sure.
just
Okay. So, like, all
call
right.
it
Did you
something
see
else?
the Pokemon movie or any of the Sonics? Because I haven't, and I never will, because I
I
couldn't give two
have
fucks
seen
less.
I have seen Detective Pikachu. I've only seen Sonic 3, which is really funny. Um,
Okay.
but
So, like,
uh-huh.
same. Your like criticisms don't make sense if you like those movies to me. How can you? How can you enjoy any of those? Because point to me where they one for one did the game. They all do their own thing. Whether they're successful or good or not is the different question. Like, there's not a video game movie out there that is a one for one recreation because you can't fucking do that. You
I I
cannot.
I I watched Detective Pikachu. I thought it was okay, but like I never played the game Detective Pikachu. It comes out, but it was okay. Like it wasn't that great either. Again, I've only watched Sonic 3.
Well,
So
I
like
mean,
the
I
one
know about the plots of the Sonic movies, and I can tell you, bro, like, first of all, Sonic does not have a followable timeline. Second of all, half those games don't really have a story that's even, like, written down enough in any way, portrayed it. Dude, it's a fucking platformer with a hedgehog and robots, bro. There was no fucking story to make a movie about. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no.
and
Yeah,
Until Dawn is the opposite problem in that the game is a playable movie. Doing a one for one for this or playing too close to this seems insane, more insane on Until Dawn. Until Dawn has to be the farthest from the source material as possible. Because the source material is just a fucking playable movie that was massively streamed. Like, there's no version of playing close to that that's worth seeing at all in a theater or even at home. Just play Until Dawn. It's the same fucking thing. Like, it's inconceivable that they would even entertain it to me. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. If it was one for one and just different actors, who the fuck cares? That's just, all you did was do a remake, like a remake of a movie, like when they do the movie again 30 years later with different actors, and it's basically the same and just looks a little different, and maybe some scenes are played a little differently, but it's the same movie because it's based off a thing that predates the movie. It's like when they remake Dune all the time. All of the Dunes are Dune, but which Dune do you like? They're gonna remake the Harry Potters. Which Harry Potters do you like? Right? Like, that's just, you're retelling the same story, except as a movie, like, if you just retold Until Dawn, that would be like career suicide. Why? It's already a fucking movie. That's the point of the game. It's a playable horror movie. That's the entire concept of that genre. That's why they're all horror movies. Like, that's literally what they are. Clearly. Like, I think a 1-to-1 of that is insane. Because it's just so close to a movie already. The Detective Pikachu stuff, I guess I could understand, but, like, I don't know. I feel like 1-to-1 recreations of compelling story games holds ultimately no value. Because you've taken too long to do this. So my games look visually as good as any movie, if not better. And they're more immersive because I play them. Which means, even if I love the story, your Ghost of Tsushima movie has to be better than the game in a story mode, right? Because I played Ghost of Tsushima. The experience is more intimate. I will not enjoy a movie that is beat for beat Ghost of Tsushima, or a long-running series, even if it was immaculately 1-to-1 recreated perfectly every step of the way, nailed the visuals, nailed the tone, nailed the acting, nailed all the stories and, like, plot thematics, and tied every little side quest into the show in a manner that didn't eat up a bunch of episodes, even if it was dead on perfect, right? That experience cannot be as enjoyable as the game, because I played the fucking game. So doing a 1-to-1 is an instant loss. You cannot match the experience, because all I do is sit there and watch and listen to the fucking movie. Ultimately, it cannot possibly be as good, no matter what you do. It will never be as good. If you like the game, or like the book, guess what? The show, the movie, the limited series, the animated, it doesn't matter. It will never be as good as the reading of the book was, or the playing of the game was. It can't possibly actually achieve that, because it's not even playing that game. It doesn't work in that format. You don't experience it the same. Like, it's never going to be that good, in my opinion. Like, Uncharted is fun games. I like Uncharted. They're kind of schlocky, though, but, like, that's what they are. The Uncharted movie with Tom Holland? It's kind of good. It's, like, schlocky. Do I care that it's not, like, a 1-to-1 recreation of Uncharted? No, not at all. Couldn't care less. Are these characters nailing the characters enough to sell me on it? To, like, yeah, you're doing the Nathan Drake thing. He's silly. Yeah, enough that I believe it, and I'm enjoying this schlocky adventure Indiana Jones-ish movie because I enjoyed the schlocky Indiana Jones-ish games. But if you went 1-for-1, I don't want that, because I can just go play Uncharted because I already own it, which is the only reason I would want to see an Uncharted film. But what I want to see is, okay, give me Uncharted as a film, but do not 1-to-1 it. You're never going to please me in that, because it will never be as good as playing that. So, like, me, I don't want a 1-to-1. I don't think it's ever going to be good enough. I think a 1-to-1 will only make me be like, yeah, it was pretty good, but it's not as good as the game, and I don't want to constantly compare it to the game in a way that it can't possibly measure up to. It just feels like I'm setting the movie or the show up to fail. So for me, it's like, I have to approach this in a way that, like, doing a 1-to-1 is a loss. You're never going to get it. It cannot be done. And I think that is, like, straight up facts. Like, I don't think it can be done. I don't think it's possible. Like, actually. I don't think any director, any actor, I literally don't think the art form can do it. Because you just don't engage with it the same way. It's just not the same. It's like comparing, like, I don't know, like, something really citrus to replace something really sweet in your diet, right? It's just like, what? They're not comparable. They're not interchangeable. Even if I really like the citrus thing, it's not replacing the sweet thing. I still am gonna want something sweet. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I can't see a 1-to-1 ever working, in my opinion. So, like, I think seeing them do, like, taking the Until Dawn's that manner and just being like, we're gonna use that and pay respect to the thing and keep a very loose interpretation of the format and then just go. And if it's executed well, I'm happy with that. Like, hey, Peter Stormare is in there. You're not doing the 1-to-1. There's no reason for him to be there. But he's there. And I'm just like, Peter Stormare, okay. Don't see Rami Malek in it. Dude's literally an actor. Honestly, good. Have him be a poster on the wall. Perfect. Have him be one of the missing people. Put all the characters in the missing people posters. Perfect. There you go. Done. Use every little monster as a real monster. All the red herrings. I love that they're doing that in a time loop because I'm like, there's my connection to it beyond the title. I can look at it as a weird shared multiverse, what if, whatever I need to in my head to like compartmentalize. And I'm like, cool. I'm not getting a one-to-one that will never match up. I'm getting something that has some loose connections to make my brain feel happy, to not feel like a total waste of the Until Dawn. And I can enjoy this potentially if it hits the right things it's trying to do. I think a one-to-one would bother me as much as if it was like as different as it is, but not even trying to like pay respect to anything in even the slightest microscopic way, which, let's be honest, the Peter Stormare there for 5 seconds is very small, but it still does what it needs to do. It's the point of a fucking cameo or a reference, right? The Easter egg doesn't need to be infinite. It's there for 5 seconds. It just needs to make my brain go, ah. I like that I'm seeing the killers that were red herrings in that game as like real threats and then time loop it back and then it's just do crazy shit with it as opposed to a one-to-one or something that just said Until Dawn and had nothing, not even like an iota of a cameo or an Easter egg to connect to Until Dawn beyond the name. Both those would annoy me infinitely more than what I see here, and I think that's as best as I can dissect my like take on it. But you clearly have differing opinions on this, so
Yeah,
let's hear
the
it.
thing is that for me, what it comes to down to it is that the fact that like a lot of directors just are more like, I don't know, just don't like the source material that they're working with, and it seems to me like if you don't want to work with the source material, then why bother like making the movie? Because like if you're not going to at least use the source material to kind of influence like the work, then like what's the point of making the movie? And well, at least in this Until Dawn, like yeah, they reference like the mass killer, they reference the Wendigo, they have Peter Stormare as a little cameo, and they have like the cabin in the woods sort of thing, and it kind of looks kind of like um the one in the game sort of thing. It's just one of those things where it's just like I think a lot of times where when people embrace the actual games themselves and like what like again the source material of the game itself, there's can be a lot of like good stuff come out of it. Like we've had a good series, like we've had Fallout come out, and that was a really good show. And like it, it was trying to do its own like section of Fallout, like, and people were speculating like where it is, like where it lands on the timeline, sort of thing, canonically or not. But like it's one of those where it's like, okay, we're using everything we have of Fallout and like trying to do something with it, but we're not like afraid of what's it called, of calling back to things from the game or any of that sort of thing. Like it really embraces the whole video game aspect of Fallout, and it's a really good show.
Alright,
And
so I haven't finished Fallout, but like I don't really see what the hell you're talking about there. Like, what do you mean embrace the video game aspect of it?
the problem is that like a lot of times,
Like I like what does that
it's
mean?
hold on. That's what I'm saying. It's either kind of the following things: either story elements, um, because that's usually like kind of the whole thing. It's like wanting to see a game put into a movie has always been kind of
Games
like, all
look
right,
like
what
movies. I don't need that. I've never needed that.
I okay, hold on. So I sometimes seeing how they can bring a video game story into a movie or a series is always something that's always going to be very like hard to do, and it would be interesting to see how they try to put that onto a different type of medium. Like the same way people will always use books and try to make them into movies and things like that. Like
Sure.
there's always gonna be things that you have to leave out. There are certain things where it's like you have to change up just because of the medium itself, and that's gonna happen. And but some people try to do their best to try to keep it as faithful as possible, or try to keep the essence of it, that what makes like that story good, or like what like and in some cases it's also like the characters, like all right, so how do the characters act? Do they are they trying to make like the character act completely different from how they act in the from like the movie show to the game? Like is it just almost like a completely different person? Um Settings as well, just kind of like how much do they like use the setting like of the game itself. Like sometimes like with Fallout, like we do see a lot of things of the Fallout franchise in there. Like even if it's just like in the background, like you will just like, oh shit, like that's like a stim pack, or like that's that enemy, or shit. Like it's
Okay, like,
it's
I
a visual
mean,
feat. And
okay, so, but, like, Until Dawn does all that.
so for no, so here's the
Visually,
thing
it
though.
does all that. All those things are from the game. Every monster in there is from the game. Every
Well,
single one is from the game.
there's only
In
two. It's the Wendigo and the Mass Killer. And it's like okay,
the
all
ghost
right,
is in
cool.
there in the trailer too. The old lady ghost, which was a whole other fake out, is in there in the trailer too. Kills somebody.
Okay,
Like, I mean, but like, I'm just saying that, like, that's the same visual as, oh look, a Brahmin, or oh look, a Deathclaw, right?
well,
Like,
no, yeah. There's that's
it's
what I'm
the
saying.
same exact thing.
What I'm trying to get at is that like there is like always gonna be like references and cameos and stuff like that. It's like, oh, you remember this, right? And sometimes like it's a good cameo or a reference to it, but sometimes it's just like, oh, you remember the game, right? Like you remember that this was here, right? Like there's always fine line between like what feels like an actual like good reference cameo and something that's just like a very as people call it fan service. And it's a
I
fine
mean, a
line. You have
cameo by its nature is fan service, though. I think we can't use fan service as an instant insult because that's the nature
no.
of a cameo, right?
Well,
Like, a callback is a fan service. An Easter
yes,
egg
a
is
callback
fan
is
service.
well, the problem is that there's always like nuance to it. That's what I'm trying to
Sure,
get at.
sure, but it's all
There's
fan
always gonna be
service. It's
nuance
just
to it.
whether it's good or not to you, the fan. And that could be argued that's a personal preference taste.
Sure,
I'm
that's fair.
fine with the fan service in both the things we're talking about. In the Until Dawn trailer, I'm fine with that. In the Fallout of what I've seen, I'm fine with that. Do I feel like them like doing a slow cam shot when she stimpacks herself is necessary? No, actually, I kind of thought it was a little dumb. I think it lands better for me if she just does it and they don't make a big deal out of it. Because I'm watching a show called fucking Fallout. I don't need you to zoom in on the stim pack. I know what it is. I played the fucking games for 28 years, right? Like, see, that's where I think the Fallout one is bad. Because it's like, you know it. Come on, stim pack. I'm like, yeah, shut the fuck up. I'm watching the show called Fallout based off the hit franchise Fallout that has, what, 5 games in it? Across multiple genres. I know what a fucking stim pack is. I don't need a guy in the show to go like, oh, a death claw, right? Like, when it's coming. Like, I don't know. Like, I felt like the Fallout stuff, and don't get me wrong, I enjoyed watching it, and I do want to finish it. I didn't hate the Fallout episodes. I was like, this is a decent show. But, like, I don't need you to, like, aggressively go, at me, right? Like, if I've played Fallout, and I'm coming to watch the Fallout show to see what I make of it, I'm really just going in there kind of no expectations. Also, because, like, again, I also want to point out something is, you, you can't do a one-to-one of these games. As a movie, it can't be done. Because which one-to-one, Vaughn? Your Fallout 3 1-to-1? Or my Fallout 3 1-to-1? Or wait, anyone else's Fallout 3 1-to-1? Like, this is a story game that has many different choices to make that have vividly different outcomes. And these games have multiple endings. You can't one-to-one that. Which one do you one-to-one? Then what are we doing?
That's
Like,
why.
how do
That's
you
why
choose? Because then if you one-to-one it, somebody's the majority of people are going to be mad because it's not their one-to-one, so that's not their experience with it. I don't think you should one-to-one. I think you have to play some weird different game. I don't think with a story game that isn't like straight up just this is the story, you play through it, you do not get to affect the outcome. You know what I mean? Like, that could be one-to-one. God of War can be one-to-one because there is no choice there you're making that changes the story. Actions happen and you, like, it is a story. It is written down. That is what is happening. Right? Whereas, like, Fallout, every single one, you and I can immediately have completely different experiences the second we start that game, because that's what the game is. That's the point of it. Until Dawn has so many different variables in it that, like, which ending do they even go with? Does everybody die? Does one person die? You know what I mean? Like, that's another problem inherently, and I think that's why the one-to-one is bad. Because unless the game only has one experience that everyone experienced, and it never differs from that, you can't actually do a true one-to-one. Because everybody's is different. And, like, I don't know, like, I guess if I'm a big Fallout fan, I don't really want any of these references. And again, if the show is in the Fallout universe, really it should do no fan service because it shouldn't need to. Because it's just a tale about some people and what they get up to in the Fallout universe. You should not need to reference or at me at any fucking second in this show if you did it right. Because the only reason I'm watching Fallout is because I've played about 5 games of them across different genres in 20 years of my life. I know what this universe is. I love it. Give me a new one, right? I want you to just tell me a fucking story in Fallout. I don't need references. I don't need you to at the camera. I need you to just, here is your setting, write me a good story. I do not need anything to be hammer over nailed there because I know what fucking Fallout is. And what Fallout is a unique experience nearly every time I play it. How I build my character, who I go with, what I get up to, what quests do I do, what quests do I ignore. Like, it's an open-ended RPG. I make the experience. The setting is what's compelling about it. It's the same thing with Star Wars. It's the same thing with Star Wars. The setting is the compelling part. The one-to-one I don't give a fuck about. Dance in the setting. Stop trying to recreate my experience in a game that I could play so many times and have so many different experiences in that I have fonder memories of the start of this character I played, but better memories of this character's end that I played. You know what I mean? Like, the one-to-one is nonsensical there because there is no one-to-one to be had. What is interesting is the setting. So just write a good story and get good acting and do the setting. That's all you're supposed to be doing. And maybe, if you want to, pay references or fan service, but, like, in a show that is just in the world of Fallout, the universe of Fallout, and could take place anywhere in that universe, fuck it. Write it in London. Write it in Australia. Do whatever you want, as long as it, like, I look at it and be like, oh, wow, that was crazy. But that was Fallout. I would have been more pleased with that show and definitely would have binged it if it was, like, Fallout, for sure. And, like, I see the trailer and I'm like, aesthetically, that's Fallout. Tone, that's Fallout. But it is not in the Americas at all. Has nothing to do, we're elsewhere. What does it go? Or just somewhere else in the Americas we've never focused on. Like, that's a way better decision to me as someone that really enjoys stories. I don't know. I get annoyed with kind of the moments because I'm like, I don't need that. I'm already here engaging with the thing because I already have the because I played the fucking franchise. This is the problem with video games being translated into think any media at any point, is because you're trying to pull me based on my love of a thing. I don't need more of that thing from you. I already have it. It's right there. You need to be something new attached to the thing I love. And I honestly, like, I think more wild decisions executed well will win me over more than one-to-one moments. But maybe you're just, like, what you're looking for in that is very different than what I'm looking for. Because I feel like the moments start to annoy me a bit. Because I'm like, I don't need you to do that. I know what that is. Like, I don't need the Force explained to me. Just do a thing. Right? I don't need to sit there and be like, oh, Jedi can't do it. I don't care. Do a cool thing. Right? You know what I want? Like, I don't know. It's just, it's definitely, I don't want that one-to-one. I don't need all these references crammed down my throat. I need them to be as subtle and non-existent as possible. It's just, I think, ultimately, I think it's gonna come down to taste, because that's kind of how video games come down to it, isn't it? It's like, as much as I like to rag on you about Parasite Eve, I just didn't enjoy it. I don't like it. You love it, right? Like, but that's art. So we gotta have you say your final bit and then table this one, because I feel like because of how open ended this sheer discussion is and how much you and I play video games and keep an eye on this shit, we could do a whole podcast about the nature of how the fuck you take a video game and make a movie or show about it forever.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we both hit a lot of good points. And no one's arguing, and we're just like, there's no end to this. There's no solution to this, dude.
There is.
What if we just stopped? Is that a solution? What if we just didn't?
We just stopped.
What if we just stopped? Have we considered not? If you could just not reboot and remaster everything this year, that'd be great. Has anyone made that meme yet?
No,
With the guy from the Office with the suspenders, you know, the one with the cup? Is it from The Office?
Is it?
I don't know why, but I think it's from The Office, but I don't know because I've never seen The Office.
I never watched The Office either.
Okay, let's just say it's from The Office, and maybe somebody will correct us, and most likely they won't, and we'll get away with it.
Just get away with it.
Just get away with it, just like they do with all these movies. All right, give me your pitch, and then for how the movies work for you, how it works for you, what makes you like it. Let's just get to that, because I kind of gave my disagreement and my like, and you had what you didn't like out of mine. So like, how does the Fallout win you over? What, like, is it really just the for you? Is that really what's, you're like, yeah, good reference.
For me, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, like, I enjoy Fallout. One, the story and the characters was, like, really good. And I think that's also what always makes a really good Fallout, just in general. Just, like, in general, a good Fallout has always been its characters and settings. And it's, like, the story that it's trying to tell. Which is also kind of really funny, realizing the fact that, like, the whole point about this Fallout show has been someone trying to find their parents, which has been literally the story since Fallout 3 and 4. Like, that's just literally been the same thing as it's been before.
No, Fallout, you're trying to find your son. It's the other way around. Fallout 4. You're the parent trying to find the kid, remember?
You're finding a family member, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. It's like, no. They reversed it for Fallout 4. You're the parent. And the other parent's dead in the cryopod, and you take their wedding ring after the longest intro ever.
God, it was such a long intro.
Number one mod, skip to create your character, skip to game start. Fucking number one mod. First thing you install.
Number one,
So annoying. Hey, maybe for Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5, we'll have a not 30-minute fucking intro to get to the character creator that you can never skip.
Oh, God.
It'll be 2 wagon rides for Elder Scrolls 6. You'll get out of one and get into the other before you get to make the character.
Oh. Okay, so what we were talking about,
video game movies and why they're bad,
or why they could be good, and all of it just has to do with the fact that, like, I think, in just in terms to Fallout. So the reason I liked Fallout a lot. Again,
keep in mind, I've only seen 3 episodes of this, so I do want to finish it, yeah.
I'm not going to try to, like, say much of it, just other than, like, one, I really enjoyed the characters, like, the ones that we've seen so far have been great, like, they really do feel like they're out of a Fallout game, like, it's just kind of like, whoa, shit, wait a minute, and everything from the aesthetics to it as well, like, it does, like, the vault looks like a vault, you know, like that's the sort of thing that
I know what you mean. I mean, in the way that, like, all the ships in the Alien franchise have that weird clunky, this is what sci-fi looked like to people back when the first one was made, and because the franchise got so successful before, like, technology got better to let us make a sleeker version of this, even modern Alien movies, the fucking computer looks like it runs on fucking dial-up somehow still.
Yeah.
You're just like, what are this fucking dial is the size of my entire monitor or shit, and you're just like, clones and super lasers and computers still look like that, huh? And you just don't even think about it because, that's just Alien. It just looks weird, B.
It's just weird.
Yeah. It's just weird. It just looks that way. I love the sci-fi aesthetic choice of, like, regardless of what sci-fi you are, dystopian, cyberpunk, alien, whatever you would call that, like, corporate sci-fi, whatever, like, subgenre of sci-fi, there is a trait they all share. An aesthetic was chosen. and carried forever, for all time, all time. Cyberpunk, neon and colored clear plastic forever. Fucking Alien, everything looks like the monitor from a 1990s 50, like a 1995 classroom in lower Manhattan, right? Like, an aesthetic is locked in, and regardless of technological progression, I mean, the biggest example, fucking Star Wars, bro. The timeline of Star Wars has crossed, like, almost 1,000 years. Everything, it's the same. It's like, there is an aesthetic that is just this universe. Now, Fallout is very much that. There is no amount of time jumps that could happen in Fallout or change of genre, whether it's the show or game, where it's like, aesthetically, it's going to fucking look like this or you fail instantly. Yeah. That is the first step. And aesthetically, it nails it. Don't get me wrong. That's what got me to bother to watch it at first. It was like, okay, does it fucking look like Fallout? Because if it looks like Hollywood Fallout, I'm not interested. No, it looks like fucking Fallout. In that sense where you see, like, a guy in a game and you're like, look at this Bloodborne guy over here in Dark Souls 3, standing there leaning against the chair, the only man with a proper hat in the whole game. And you're like, where did you get that? What are you doing here? I think there's, like, a Bloodborne guy in, like, Dark Souls 1, isn't there, like, a weird boy? And you're just like, you don't look like you came from here. What are you doing here? He just looks like a Bloodborne man, the one guy with, like, leather and a cape in all of Dark Souls. And you're just like, you just like turn your head into a double take, and you're just like, well, you don't belong here. But an aesthetic is chosen, and it carries a lot, and it does nail that. It is on my list to finish, and I did like the show. But, like, there are definitely moments where I'm like, okay, that camera lingered too long on the I understand what that is. I've played Fallout. I don't need the zoom in there. I don't need to, like, that should be so, like, to me, again, I think it just comes down to is, like, that reference should be there, but it should be so quick, like, a second. Nothing. It should be not talked about at all. Because the people in Fallout wouldn't, like, make a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if Deathclaws ever come in. If they do, I think...
If they do, I really hope they look...
A thing I would hate is anyone, like, pointing and yelling, Deathclaw! And just run. No, they should just be running now. They wouldn't waste the time to yell Deathclaw. They would start running, and in fact, probably not warn anyone to optimize their personal chances of living in the post-apocalypse. That's what someone would do. Or they would yell, run, right? They wouldn't need to name what's coming. They would just say run. But if it was like, oh, death call, and then it, like, zooms in, and that's a big entrance scene, I'm like, okay, you could do the big entrance scene, but, like, you don't need to announce it's a death claw to me. I understand what that is. Right? Like, I don't need that. Don't do that. In the sense that, like, it to me, that level of, like, fan service hurts me as much as when Star Wars started assigning power numbers to the Force. And I was like, stop this. I don't know. No, bad. Sometimes not knowing things is good. I don't need the extra layer there. Just give me my sandwich. I didn't need the extra toppings. Just give me the sandwich now. You know what I mean? Where they're like, I need a little of this. I'm like, no, I don't want that. But, like, it is the aesthetic. The aesthetic is a big deal. For sure. God, could you imagine if it, like, didn't look like Fallout? Oh, like, what if it was, like, glossy and clean? Ugh. Oh, like, what if they tried to, like, modern sci-fi it? Oh.
See,
ooh, like, shiny Fallout. Fallout with the saturation and the gloss turned all the way up. Just, like, thinking about that's making me sick. Yeah, see, that's bad, though, but at the same time, I still feel like, from what I saw with the show, there's definitely moments where I'm like, that's kind of heavy-handed right there. I don't need you to do that. No one should be reacting to any of this.
But, it does look, we're coming to different takes as to what we want from a video game movie or any sort of video game adaptation. But honestly, for me, it really has always been kind of like, I think I would respect directors, producers, and whatnot who want to, like, do their own thing without having to kind of, like, use the name of a video game to, like, attract a crowd, because you're just setting up certain expectations sometimes, and sometimes, like, you're gonna fail on those expectations, and it's just like, it's there we go, sorry. And it's one of those things where it's just kind of like, well, I know you didn't ask to make people expect that, but like it comes with that job of handling any sort of media. Like you're always gonna have people who are a fan that uh of that story, of that game or anything,
Oh,
where they're
sure,
just gonna have
absolutely.
expectations, and so you I never want these people to want to set themselves up for failure in that regard, but I also want to be in the realms of like, if you're going to take this, I want you to take this as seriously as possible and not like Uwe Boll this shit. Just do not go that way. Do
What you
not
mean?
go that way.
What do you do? You got a problem with Resident Evil?
Uh, House of the Dead.
You got a problem with Resident Evil? You want to talk about that Netflix show?
God no.
You want to talk about that Netflix show? Have you watched that?
No, I have not watched
Hey,
the
I
other one.
watched it. I watched an episode of it. I was curious.
Oh
Ooh, ooh, boy. Ooh, I might have to hate watch this.
no. No, I cannot
Hey,
watch.
hey, you know what I love in my Resident Evil? Flashbacks to before, to like when this character was a kid. Yeah. Dude, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's worse than the films. It's worse than the films. All of them. In one episode, the Resident Evil Netflix show is worse than every Resident Evil live action film combined.
God damn.
I would rather marathon watch in one sitting while having to hold in going to the bathroom all of those Mila Jovovich Resident Evil movies in order in the extended director's cuts while still needing to pee than watch an episode of that Netflix show. Bro, it was the most nothing sandwich experience of my life as a thing to watch. It was bad. It was not good. It was not good. And on that note, I actually do need to use the bathroom, and I think we're headed out of the news into games we played.
Yeah, that I
And
would
then,
say
ironically, this will probably be a normal length episode because it's been so long and the end of the year was crazy that I haven't kept up with everything. But I have been playing a lot of stuff because there's stuff. There's some stuff.
there's some stuff. Yeah, I probably need to go get the restroom.
Yeah, so yeah,
Get
bathroom
things
sound
on.
break sounds good. So I'm gonna pause us here and all right, resuming. Do you feel? Because I definitely rambled a lot more there and didn't let you talk so much. Do you need to say anything else to wrap up that movie video game adaptation conversation, or honestly, if you just want to bring it back at some point, like that's a big topic. Like we really kind of
It is.
clearly that is
It's so
because there's
big.
no clear solution. There really just
isn't.
isn't. It really just comes down to how can you enjoy this and how close does it need to be to the thing. And and again, I like in the same way that like ironically the things they're trying to adapt, it's like bro, there are parts of Fallout that I've never played because I couldn't give a fuck less about those people and their problems. You know what I mean? But like that could be the quest line to you. So you might want that in the show. And I'm gonna be like, get the fuck out of here with that. I don't give a fuck about this nerd. Right? Like, how do you fucking do that? Like again, we're getting trapped in it again. So that's why it's like if you wanted to give one more finalized statement, because I kinda cut you off a lot, but I wanted to give you the chance to like give a wrap up of your end, but if you'd like to just table it for now, and maybe we'll come back after a couple more movies are attempted.
We'll wrap this up.
Okay.
And maybe we'll do another discussion again.
Every time they attempt it again, we'll probably be like, did they
We'll
get it
be-
this
we'll
time
be-
for one of us?
we'll
All right, what have you been playing the last couple months?
So, sorry. So, for last statement, at least on the movie thing,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the best way an adaptation can work, like a video game, for me, now, like, think about it after a little break, is just kind of like, I think a good adaptation of something is always, like, it adds to the media itself, like going to the Fallout show. For me, honestly, if I hadn't known about Fallout and stuff like that, I almost would have thought that the Fallout show was based on already some preconceived like Fallout story or like book or something like that.
Okay.
When it's really its own thing. Like it really like it still has some events that are known within like the Fallout like
Mhm.
games, especially like 1 and 2. But it's its own thing. Like it's its own
Right.
story, its own
Um.
characters and stuff. And it almost it feels integrated into
Mhm.
like the whole thing itself. And that's not to say like other like video game adaptation or movies can't do something else differently as or something similar to it. But it almost just feels like it's part of the whole thing rather than like trying to be uh like separate of it. Like it's not afraid to embrace what makes
Mhm.
that
Okay. Okay.
Fallout like all
I
that
get
like
you.
that video
Yes. Yeah.
game good,
Yeah.
but um it still tries to be like, you know what, we appreciate this franchise a lot, we
Got you. For
appreciate like
sure.
this,
For sure.
and so when they embrace that, you can tell, like you can
Mhm.
tell like there was love put into this. But a
Mhm.
lot of video game adaptations are almost like, well, we want to use like the story and characters, but we want to do our own thing, and you can kind of tell like they weren't having enjoyment out of it. Like they like some things fell off, or some things they were trying to do just didn't work out the way that they intended,
Mhm.
and it shows. It really does show. So
Yeah.
I think for me
For
that's
sure.
just the thing. Like whenever there's a really good media adaptation, it almost feels like you know that people really loved and cared the franchise and wanted to make their own like little thing for it, like a little love letter
Mm.
as well to it.
You know what I never finished watching also, but I did enjoy? The Last of Us show.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so like both that and Fallout. I enjoyed the 3 episodes of each I watched. I just haven't had the time to finish them because I
Yeah,
don't like
yeah,
watching one episode here or there. I like to do a couple in a sitting.
yeah.
Um, and same thing with Castlevania. I've only seen the first season, but I was like,
Oh,
"Hey,
same.
that was Castlevania." And
But
then
that was
like
really
at the
good. It
at
was
the
really
end of
gruesome.
Castlevania season 1, the camera pans over and I'm like, "Hey, look, that's Castlevania too." But like it didn't annoy me because it was the end of the goddamn season. And I was
Yeah,
just like, "Ah, yes, of course." Next, after the plot of Castlevania comes, of course, the plot of Castlevania 2. Yes, this checks out. But, like, I don't want to see references to 2 until it's time to go to 2. Don't you be fucking shoving it in there early. I'll be like, why is that there? That shouldn't be there. That doesn't matter for another 6 episodes at least. They don't even know that yet.
yeah,
So,
no,
alright, yeah, I feel like I get what you're saying. And so with that, we'll table it for now, and it's time to talk about what we've been playing for the last couple months with you
God,
starting.
I've been playing quite a bit. Okay, so I
Parasite
have
Eve.
I have played. I wish. I really missed my chance. I'm gonna try to set up the PS3 again.
I'm
But
that's the
I
first
always,
thing that I've typed out for the possible title. Parasite Eve, Soda Whisperer. I wish.
I wish. I always love playing Parasite Eve like during
I know
Christmas.
you do.
That's literally like when it takes place. It takes place during Christmas, so
It's
it's
one of the
always like
few
a really,
Christmas games, actually.
yeah. Really, we don't have enough Christmas games. So let's
It's weird. There's
say.
not a lot. You'd think there'd be more, but there is not. There's a lot, but significantly less than you would expect.
Yeah.
One's a Batman game. One's a Spider-Man Miles Morales game.
Yep.
Those are probably the two biggest ones in the last 2 decades.
Yeah, really are. What the hell?
Christmas levels don't count.
No,
Sorry,
yeah,
Kingdom
yeah.
Hearts.
It has, yeah, it has to actually be like Christmas themed.
Yeah,
through and
no, I
through.
agree.
With
All right, so
with
what have you been
film.
playing?
Okay, so what have I been playing? Okay, so recently I came back to this game that I played a long time ago. I didn't enjoy it too much,
Mm-hmm.
but now I've been playing more with friends and been liking it a lot. It's
Okay.
called Barony.
Barony. You
Um,
were talking to me about this several podcasts ago because it was on my
yeah,
wish list for a bit, but then I pulled it off because I just never ended picking it up. But I
yeah,
remember you mentioning an interest in this before, but you were kind of like on the fence about it at the time.
yeah. So like when I tried it first time, it's a little bit complicated because there is apparently now a tutorial. I think I don't know if
Mm.
there was originally. Um, but the thing is that for what this game is supposed to be, um, it's supposed to be like a co-op or single run of you playing a certain class and race, and you're going through, what is it, 35 levels
So the thing that looks
of
all
dungeons.
Minecrafty, right?
Yeah, it has that
Yeah, I
voxel
keep
look to it.
thinking it's a Minecraft mod every time I see it. It's
I don't
very.
think so. Don't. Maybe it
I have
was.
seen
Who knows?
I have seen Strippin play this a lot, and every time I think he's just playing one of the many Minecraft mods that got super complicated and in depth because, like, aesthetically, it's fucking Minecraft.
Yeah, it really does.
Like,
Because the
if you
blocks
put
are
them side by side to a Minecraft mod that's
couldn't
doing like a
Minecraft.
fantasy dungeon thing, it would take a second, right? Like,
Yeah.
it would take a second. You'd be
You
like,
register, like,
which
huh?
of these is different? It really is like doing that, but it's just not that. But it's doing exactly what those Minecraft mods do. Which is not a bad thing, but every time I see it, I think it's Minecraft at first. Every time.
No, and honestly, like the aesthetic of it, like I said, it's just Minecraft, so it still has like interesting looks to it. So it's not.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad aesthetic.
Yeah. But it's really hard. Like
I've
for
heard that
whatever
I've seen many a death.
it's really difficult, and so it's one of those where it's like if you're not prepared for that difficulty spike, or like it's just kind of like you're starting off and then it's like, oh shit, I'm already dead, like, and it's like the first level, like, yeah, it's gonna be very, very rough. So but there was DLC that had been added back then, and there was some new additions that they
Okay.
did to it, and so I think it's definitely in a better state. It's still very hard, but I think it's now that I'm finding what classes I enjoy playing, and hopefully, like, with races, like, that'll be also become
Okay.
a thing where, like, I find out what races I like to
What's
play.
the like is it like is this like is it like a roguelike? Is it like what's
Yeah,
the
it's
core
more like a
loop?
roguelite because everything's sort of randomized from the levels to what equipment will drop and things like that. Like, it's sort of like you're going down dungeon levels, um, fighting off monsters, picking up equipment, making friends. Like, you can find like random NPCs that you can befriend, or if you play like a specific race or a specific class, you can sometimes even befriend the monsters. Like, there's a DLC class called Conjurer. No, not Conjurer. What's it, Conjurer? Fuck. No, Shaman. There we go. Shaman. Where you can basically transform into different enemy types. So the first one you could turn to is a rat. You can literally just become a rat at the start. And if you find rats at the start of the game, you can befriend the rats, and then they help you out. And so even when you transform back into your normal self, you'll still have befriended the rats. And then you get like a spider form next, and then a troll form. Like, they basically keep getting different enemy forms that they can transform into and befriend those enemies. Same thing with conjurers. Like, they can create skeleton armies.
Okay.
And depending on like what your
Interesting.
race is, like, for instance, if you're a skeleton, you can apparently not befriend skeletons. Apparently skeletons hate skeletons, which is really funny. You can befriend ghouls, which
Okay.
I guess it's just a skeleton with skin. I mean, really? But so I don't know.
Technically, we're
Some,
all just skeletons with skin.
yeah, we're all just skeletons.
And
with
there's
skin.
another title right there. Technically, we're
We're all
all
just
just
skeletons with skin. I love
technically
it.
we're all just go ahead. Skeletons
And so
with
the thing
skin.
is that
It's not wrong.
yeah, like,
It's
depending on what race you
scientifically
play,
not inaccurate.
not inaccurate. So you
It's
can
incredibly
play as
accurate,
a
actually.
lot of races as well. Well, a few, but there's still quite enough that there's a variety, and there's also a lot of classes. So it takes a while to kind of understand what each one does, what each class does, and
How
each
many
race
people is
affects
this up
the.
to?
It's up to 4 people. You can play up to 4 people.
Nice.
So there
You
is
know.
there.
So you think it's
nice.
like in a bet it's worth getting? You think it's like got its charm? Is what you're getting at here?
I
It
would
sounds like
say
you have a higher opinion of it this time
I
around.
have a higher opinion of it now. What I would say is that I guess if you were to get it, I guess get it at a discount, just so that way if you really want to try
One of
it. And
those. Okay,
yeah,
fair
one
enough.
of those, because I guess it's a very difficult. It's a very like game where you're gonna die over and over and over, and sometimes you'll die from like the most obnoxious thing. Like, there is a lot of
I
boulder
mean, that
traps
is
in
a
the game.
roguelike, though. Like, that's
Yes.
Hades. That is, if your roguelike isn't doing that to the point where you die because you, like, straight up just have played this so much that you're like, yeah, I'm not worried about that, and then because you disrespected it or just got your ego in your way, you died to a fucking nothing little minion, before you got to the boss, knowing you probably would have beat the boss because you were so focused on the boss before you even got there. And you're just
Yeah,
like,
sometimes
it's the Dark Souls thing of like, yeah, it doesn't matter that you're level 80. Check the left side of the goddamn room. If that guy knifes you in the back enough, you still die, just like everyone else.
Yeah,
You
no,
know what I mean?
so-
It's like, that's the
and there
roguelike,
is
though.
that. There is that. There is the whole like you're underestimating the dungeon.
Because it happens
and
to
not
me all the
underestimating-
time in Hades, and I love it,
But-
because it's
But the thing
always
is
my
that
fault.
because it's
Almost every
procedurally
time.
generated. It's a procedurally generated, so not each like dungeon map is not gonna be the same. It's not gonna have the same overlook. So sometimes
Well,
when you think,
neither.
oh,
that's
this-
roguelikes. They're
yeah,
supposed to
no,
be.
but the thing is that like sometimes you feel like, oh, there's a long hallway. Is there gonna be a boulder trap?
Mhm.
Maybe I shouldn't go through it. And there probably wasn't one. Or places where you like there's doors. There is literally doors that go into just a room that has nothing, and that's like 90% of it. But there is always that chance,
I love
and it's
that.
always a
That's
small
great,
chance
though.
where you open it and you see the boulder trap, and like the boulder falls and about to like roll on you, and it's like, it's one of those where it's like the.
It's a fuck you
inconsistency-
game.
It's a really fuck you game. So that's why.
I mean,
like,
that's just Dark Souls.
Yeah. So I mean.
Yeah,
if-
that's
if
just Dark
you-
Souls.
If you're okay with that sort of like gameplay.
I mean,
whatnot, then
really,
it's-
technically, that's just the entire existence of XCOM as a franchise, if you think about
Yeah,
it. It's
it's
a fuck you game. I love XCOM. Have I ever successfully beaten XCOM? Ever? Any of them? No, absolutely fucking not. Fuck that game. But I love XCOM. But people don't play XCOM to beat XCOM. Let me be very clear, okay?
Yeah.
There is a specific type of fuck you that it's like, just because we can beat it and it can be done, no one, and I mean none, is so alive that actually plays XCOM in any sense of regularness that like it thinks to themselves, I'm gonna reinstall XCOM and play it. No one, no matter how good they are, is going into that thinking about beating it. You know how I know that? Because all the XCOM streams you see are somebody who's modded it to be 7,000 times harder for shits and lulz. Because the fuck you, the stab, and then the salt and the vinegar that XCOM pours in your bleeding wounds is the point of playing XCOM. I want it. I want you to do it. Like, that's XCOM. XCOM is you become the Joker. So there are games that are like that. There's not a lot of them because it's very hard to pull off because there's a certain
Yes.
level of fuck you.
There has to be still some enjoyment you can get out of it.
It's like a fuck you slot machine. It's got to let you win sometimes.
Yeah,
A fuck
it's gotta,
you
it's
slot
gotta.
machine. Dude, we just went from no potential titles to 3 very quickly. A fuck you slot machine.
So yeah, I would say like give Barony a try. It's still fun. The thing about it is that you technically want to win, and the reason why is because if you
You
win,
technically want to win is an incredible statement.
because okay, here's the because winning you of course you always want to beat a game. Like it's kind of the whole point of a game. You want to beat it, but the whole thing about Barony is that when you beat the game with a specific race.
You unlock like
no.
something?
Yeah, with a race, whatever race has sometimes a class tied to it. So, for instance, skeletons. Skeletons have conjurer tied to their class.
Yeah.
And
Oh, dude,
only-
like
only-
Gauntlet Dark Legacy for the PS2
Yeah.
did that. When you beat it with the wizard, you unlock the sorcerer, which was just better wizard.
Yeah, but it's more like-
Barbarian unlocked warrior, but you had to get all the way to the final level and beat the boss. And it was hard as fuck, and it was like 30 levels deep. It was a pain in the ass. I remember grinding Gauntlet Dark Legacy with my siblings. Dude, we unlocked everything in that game because every single class,
fucking good game.
every single class had shit tied to it that you beat it, and then you get the thing, and then you go in with a new class, and you gotta do it all again, and that's how you unlocked Merlin and the alt colors. Like, it was annoying, but yeah, that was the thing. You just do it. You just do it.
Yeah, but it's one of the things where in this one, it's
I love shit like
you-
that.
You beat it with a specific race, and that class, for that specific race gets unlocked for all other races other than.
That's tight. That's worth it.
Yeah. So for instance,
But that
if you-
also makes like putting up with the fuck yous to eventually get through it even once is still even that the payoff there is big enough that I'm like, all right, I'll deal with the fuck yous along the way because once I do get it once, and as long as you chip at it, like I never thought I would ever beat Hades 1, but I ended up beating it a lot. Like I could do runs in that game all day. Hades 2, I'm even better at. Like it is a roguelike. You're gonna get the fuck you a lot before you get one successful run. That's how the game work. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you shouldn't even think about seeing future zones half the time at the start. You just get the game down, find your place in it, and just start earning that resource that rolls over and getting used to how the gameplay is. And then as you start to get shit and get used to it, then you'll be concerned about, okay, I'm
That's
clearing
the
into the
thing.
next zone. I'm clearing into the next
That's the
zone.
thing. There is no resource or any sort of like of things that go. Each
Well, then
run
it's not a
is new
roguelike.
run.
That's not a roguelike then at all.
Okay,
There
so then
has to
roguelite,
be. That's the point of a roguelike.
roguelite. Then
I don't think,
know.
no, because a roguelite is still almost a roguelike. There's always resources that carry over. That's the point of the fuck you endless run game, is that, okay,
No. Then it's
something
just a
carries
procedurally
over.
generated dungeon. I don't
That's
know what else to
insane.
start from. Yeah, there is no resource that like goes over. Once you die, you start again. Nothing. You
That's
go
insane.
again and you try. So that's why I'm like. That's why
That's
I'll
crazy.
say, like,
yeah,
that's why
see,
it's like,
that's definitely on sale then, for sure.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to try it out, it's a game where it's hard. You get to that final boss and you die. You starting back, new things, nothing. You start as if it was a new playthrough. That's it. Like
Ironically, that's how all the Minecraft survival mod shit I used to do felt. Oh, did you die and you weren't next to your base? Get fucked, loser. Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, so no, that's
right.
kind of what I've been playing with.
Barony.
Barony. Give it a look, see if it interests you. If not, I completely understand. Something else I've been playing. I got back into Dread Delusion again. I've been trying to beat that game again. I finally unlocked the airship thing. It takes so fucking long to get. Oh my god. It's like basically at the end of the game. I don't know why they like show that as a thing for the game when you don't even get to do that until like the end of the game. It's stupid.
That's hilarious. I love it. I love it. It's the last thing you do.
Yeah. Let's see. I've already mentioned too much about how much I love that game, and how aesthetically it's cool. So
It's aesthetically it stands out a lot. I haven't ever checked it out myself, but it was one you pitched on a wish list, I think, a while back as well.
So yeah, I definitely, again, going back through it, I'll see when I finish with it, talk about more about it, but for now, just saying that I've gone back to it, trying to beat it trying to beat it. Something new that I played was the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Oh, okay.
Beat, once on New Game and another on New Game Plus. So I have beaten it twice. It is very much kind of how to explain it. It does try to be faithful to the original, not beat for beat, but at least in the areas that it matters most. But by God, I know Silent Hill 2 original has terrible combat, and that's like a sort of whole thing about it.
You mean
like,
every Silent Hill game ever? Because that's
Yes.
kind of the thing. You're not somebody who knows how to do this shit, so, like, you're just some fuck. Like,
Yes.
so it should be terrible, bad, and awkward, because that's how Silent Hill stood out as a franchise against Resident Evil. Because it wasn't a Resident Evil survival horror. It was less survival and run the fuck away, dipshit. It's a giant pyramid head guy. What are you doing?
Now that's the thing. When it's in the original, at least there were boss fights where you had to fight, and that's how the things is. But you could have resources build up, and for the most part, you could run away. In this game, it feels like you're almost meant to fight some enemies just because of how their position and how much they will aggro for so long and for so far that it's like if you get spotted, you might as well just fight. Like, there's no point of like trying to run and hide because they will follow you to the ends of the earth. Like, there is
that's bad. I hate that.
That's why it's just
that's annoying.
And because the fighting is
how's the combat
awful.
It's awful in the remake. It's awful. Yeah, it looked awful. It looked like bad clanky clunk. It looked bad. It looked like they wanted you to fight more, except they made a worse combat system than the first game. Also, the twist of Silent Hill 2 doesn't work in a story that I already know. The whole plot doesn't work. In fact, it almost doesn't matter if you're telling it to me and I already know the end. Which I do, because this game is 30 years old. Also, the only merit it has as a remake is because Konami deliberately made it really hard to get any of their games because they don't make games anymore. I got nothing to say about this except Konami can eat a dick and Bloober Team sucks anyway. I'm not touching it. I have no interest in it. Are you kidding
You
me?
know,
Yeah, I'm surprised you went for it, honestly. But I guess one of us had to.
Try it. I had to. Yeah, I had to go ahead and try it.
See, I didn't feel like I had to do anything. I felt I could just completely ignore it and shit on it anytime anyone brought it up.
Yeah, I think it's because there were too many people
Because they're bad.
that I've known that like gave it a shot and they're like, it's good. Like they enjoyed it or
I get it.
or,
I mean, I recently,
okay,
just to dip
sure.
into mine, I fell off. I was trying, I think you knew this, because we talked about when we played zombies a little bit. I was giving an attempt on the Dead Space remaster, and just
Yes,
complete,
yeah.
it lost me so quick. I just couldn't
Really?
care. Yeah, bro, I fucking hate playing as Isaac. I hate him as a character. I hate how he moves. I hate engaging with this game's combat and like navigation system. I fucking hate it. I hate the way the gun feels. Like, I hate it. I don't enjoy playing Dead Space at all. The only part I enjoy is the aesthetic and like the tone. But like, oh my god, I couldn't care less about these characters and their problems, and ultimately, like, I don't really think the enemy design is that great in Dead Space across the entire franchise. I think it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
In a
I
mod,
think that's
considering
the most-
like, you know what? Again, I'm gonna be honest. Remedy's just on a whole other level because the enemy design in Remedy games is like on LSD at all times. It's insane. And Resident Evil remakes cover the rest of it, and I'm just like, bro, like, I just, in a world where I have RE remakes and new RE that's weirder and weirder with every day, and then I have whatever the fuck Remedy is doing, I'm just like, dude, this game has no chance. This franchise has no chance. It has a better chance than Silent Hill, but not by much to me, because, like, the bar is too high. Alan Wake 2 is too good.
Well, don't worry. There's actually going to that Dead Space thing. Apparently EA isn't really interested in making more Dead Space. So there you go. There's
Well, so no, this article that was about Glenn Schofield, the original creator. Quotations. The original creator of the original Dead Space saga approached EA about making Dead Space 4 with his current studio that did the flop that was Callisto Protocol, and EA said no to that. A Dead Space whatever could still happen through remasters and lead into a 4. Still seems unlikely because there's been nothing. No peep of like they're greenlit for a Dead Space 2 remaster, but the no was confirmed to be Glenn Schofield's current studio wanting to do Dead Space 4, and
okay.
EA said hard no to that. So,
Is it-
still
crap.
could be more remasters, at the very least, because the remaster did sell relatively well enough, I suppose. I just, like, then again, I fell off the original Dead Space as well. I just went back for this one because PlayStation gave it to me for free and was like, alright, I fucking might as well. I never would have bought it. Like, absolutely had no interest. Like, I'm very picky about, like, survival horror for sure. And,
That's
like, nobody hits like Remedy. In terms of, like, new weird shit, Remedy. And in terms of, give me the classic taste I grew up with, well, Konami's dead and doesn't exist anymore. And Dead Space isn't classic to me, and I don't care. And Capcom is right over there with a shiny new Resident Evil 9 around the corner, probably. So, like, I think I'll just play those. Is kind of where I'm at, where I'm like, there is nothing you could do to make me risk dropping Resident Evil or, like, Remedy's next horror thing over, like to go to Silent Hill or to go to, like, a Dead Space. I mean, Callisto Protocol, I tried. I played the fucking thing.
Yeah, that game was.
I guess, you know, Callisto Protocol's biggest problem is that you're playing the wrong goddamn character the whole time.
At least it's not PUBG.
Everybody want to play the weighty. Well, that's why we're all hype about Retrieval now, even though we know nothing about it, because this looks real Dead Space like Callisto Protocol, which, let's be honest, there's not a slam dunk in that aesthetic. In terms of a, like, sci-fi survival horror, aesthetically, franchise-wise, there isn't one. Resident Evil isn't really sci-fi, it's like pseudoscience nonsense, right? Like, it's not sci-fi, though. Like, there really isn't a sci-fi survival horror. You could argue Alan Wake 2 is, certainly, but it's not. It's paranormal sci-fi. It's both, and it's very important that it's both. It's always both. But, so, like, Remedy is also turbo weird because Jesse Cox is apparently working on a video that he's considering to be like his magnum opus, where it is a video designed to give you the fullest understanding of the Remedy verse as it is now and where it's headed. And in doing so, he's been playing through all the old games and engaging with everything they've made. And he said he's recently been playing through Quantum Break again. And he's like, he's playing through it and it's blowing his mind because there is shit here that is set up here 10, 12 years before Alan Wake 2 could even be conceived of with funding, right? Like, how deep this is going and how perfectly connected it is, it's all written as if Remedy was just like, fuck it, we're just going to proceed as if we have the green light and funding to do this at all times. So that if we ever do get the green light and funding and resources to do it, it's ready, right? Like, they didn't do, there's no plot line that's wasted in this verse. It's all being connected, even though the legalese and the fact that Quantum Break legally isn't owned by them, but they wrote it in such a way that they could legally, distinctly write it back into Alan Wake 2 DLC. And I'm just like, Sam Lake's a madman. He just said full commit even without knowing it would ever be allowed to happen. And he just committed every time, and they're just doing it. And apparently, like, because FBC Firebreak, the 3-player, like, Left 4 Dead zombie horde mode thing, that's, like, the follow-up to Control and its DLC, and the setup to Control 2, which is set up by Alan Wake 2's DLC. Like, bro, Remedy's just on a different level, dude. But I'm itching for, like, because I feel like we have Resident Evil, there's your, like, modern pseudoscience, very classical survival horror. There's Last of Us, but, like, if that gets one more, it's only gonna get one more, probably, and that's done. And then there's Remedy, but Remedyverse is dipping between survival horror, more action-y, survival horror, more action-y, RPG. Like, it's not locked into genre. It's a horror-ish verse, but it's not locked into survival horror genre. So again, Remedy's almost on its whole own stage now, because the genre is interchangeable. As long as it's paranormal horror, sci-fi, you're good to go, basically. David Lynch is the base print for all of Remedy, and then you go from there. Rest in peace to a true king.
Rest in peace.
And then, like, you look at Callisto Protocol, and you're like, yeah? And then it just doesn't land, and that's kind of how original Dead Space and the remake were for me. But I know we talked about this the last time when it first was announced, and we've heard nothing since. Retrieval. There's nothing we know about it, but that trailer is interesting. And what was the joke we made, I think, that podcast when it first was shown off? I think it was shown off at, like, a Game Awards or something. And we were like, yes, Callisto Protocol, but as the correct character this time. Callisto Protocol, except you play as the interesting character this time. Yes, this sounds like it has much more potential, because you play as the... it's so the same vibes as the Callisto Protocol trailers. But it's just like, but you play as the interesting character this time. So we'll see, but boy howdy, there's the sci-fi, like, body horror, survival horror games struggling to find a foot in the industry still, to this day.
And speaking of survival horrors, like, I did try 2 recently. I finished them. Hollow Body and Signalis. I actually managed to...
I did not beat Signalis. I got like, I think maybe like halfway into it and had to put it down for now. But like, I enjoyed what I played, but like at the same time, it's one of those things where I'm like, this is gorgeously made and it's impeccable, but like, because it's so nailing an old game feel, I don't enjoy playing it. I appreciate it, but I don't want to play it, really, because like, it's like I lived through that era of types of controls, and I hated it then. It was bad then. Let me be very clear. I knew it was bad then when everyone else was a liar saying it was good. No, it was shit then. and it's shit now, and it's bad gameplay. It's just all we had back then. And it's like, give me Signalis, but better gameplay, and I'm in love with you. I don't want to pay so much respect to these things that were the foundations of, like, my youth, which I love, I love the homages and the styling, and how it's really nailing that very classical approach to, like, survival horror games. But I don't want to go back to old gameplay. If that's the cost of, like, a perfect nostalgia trip that somehow also stands on its own so significantly, right? And that's what Signalis is. A perfect survival horror nostalgia trip that indelibly stands on its own at the same time, which is very hard to do. But to have that and have the old gameplay, I'm out. I can't do it. I can never finish the games because I'm like, I fucking hate how this feels to play. And that's such a big thing these days to me, because we've gotten pretty good at making it feel good to play games. So now when it feels like how it used to, I'm like, there's no amount of, like, love for this thing that I can conjure that makes me want to play a game that has controls like this. Because I hated it as a kid, and I hate it more now. So it's unfortunate, because every single one of those I've tried to play that's like that type of game, I can never get through because of how old it feels when I'm playing it, even though I know it's a new game and it's beautiful and I'm loving everything it's doing. But just that old control style, even though it does feel nicer than how it felt back then, it's still trying to emulate that for, like, what it's doing so much that I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want it. You can never make me want this. I didn't want it then. It was just all we had. So, but I've watched Scary Game Squad play Signalis. Signalis is incredible.
Yeah. I finished it. I got, I think, the better ending, I guess.
Hey, these lesbian robots should kiss. That's all. Hey, that's what Signalis is about, by the way.
Yeah,
That's what it's about. Don't fall in love with your robot lady friend who might be you. Don't worry. Nope. Too low. Don't teach your emotions. Oh, you're combing her hair, or you're dancing. Shouldn't do that. That's how computers have emotions. 1,000 Psychos, King in Yellow, something Eldritch. But we're still in love. But one of us might be a robot, and one of us might be a clone. But we're in love. That's the game for dummies. I really dumbed it down there, but that's essentially what Signalis is about. Lesbians continue to keep winning, even in the worst of worlds.
Space, yeah. But yeah, I finished it. I think for me, for the most part, like, I was enjoying it. It gets into one section later on where, like, you don't really have a map, and it gets really maze-like, and it's like, in how everything is.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember watching Scary Game Squad struggle bus in that section.
And then there's, like, the very last section, which isn't as bad as the section before that, but it was still kind of tedious. But still, from what I, at least from having played it once and finished it, I think it was okay. Like, at least gameplay wise, it was okay. I definitely did have to switch from Classic 6 to Revised because the modules being such an important thing is like, oh, I see why so many people complained. Like, yeah, no, having modules as take up a slot, it was just awful. Like that, especially when there are cases where it's like, you don't want to go back and having to pick up, like, the flashlight to put on. Signalis is one of those where I think it should have just seeing it wanted to be its Resident Evil and Silent Hill. It should have sticked with the Silent Hill inventory of it. It would have made that entire game so much more smoother, and I
Dude,
think
someday one of these indie studios that come out of nowhere and drop an incredible indie survival horror game will make one with a modern game style to play that I'll love. Really wish we could stop trying to just pay homage to old gameplay mechanics. They were bad then. We don't. Tank controls are bad. They've always been bad. Why do you think Monster Hunter wasn't a global success until it stopped having bad controls? And bad menus. And it still kind of has bad menus. And the controls still weren't perfect, but they're better enough that the game can now be successful globally. It didn't randomly become Capcom's best-selling game for no reason. It's because it was the most modernized gameplay and presentation of the franchise ever. That's what sells your game. Spoilers. You know what I want to feel? Good emotions when I do things in your game. I do not want to go, ugh, every time I have to reload or switch a button. I hate that shit. I'm trying to survive some kind of clone monster. I don't have time to have emotions about how clunky the menu is. Fucking hate it. Someday. Signalis 2, modern controls, please.
We'll
Please.
see. We'll see.
Please.
But yeah, like I still enjoyed the story.
Oh, the story's impeccable. Let me be very
have to
clear.
go
The
through it
only
again just to
complaint I
get through
have
the
is the
little more
controls.
nuances, of the story. But for the most part, like
It's about lesbians.
It's about lesbians.
It's about
What
lesbians.
is there to know? But it's just
It's lesbians will conquer all, even multiple timelines in the reincarnation and self
you have to break through
reincarnation
your cycle.
and Evangelion's happening in reverse in your head at one point. It's there's like shadow. It's unclear. There's bad things are happening, but lesbians are also still
You
there.
have to
So
kill
there's
your
that.
former self, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill the-
Might
kill
have to
the-
make love to your former self. It's a weird game.
It's weird. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, I definitely would still recommend the game if
Oh, it's
you're
great.
into that sort of thing.
If you
But,
can
yeah.
handle like clunky controls on purpose, the game's fantastic. If you
Yeah,
can't
I
handle
would-
that, just go watch it. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Like
It's
one
a
of
good
those you will enjoy watching your favorite streamer play this if the controls are just not going to do it for you. That's what I did. I was like I started watching Scary Game Squad play it, stopped, bought it, started playing it, got further than them, and then just kind of the controls were getting to me too much, and then I refinished watching their thing. But I went and bought the game and gave that studio my money, knowing I was probably going to fall off the controls, and I did. And I'm probably never going to beat it myself. But I went and bought it because I was like, abso-fucking-lutely. Because the only reason I don't, like, love it myself is a personal, like, I hated that control style when it was all we had. And there was nothing to even compare it to, and I hated it then. Because I felt the limits of it as a child, and I feel it stronger today, so I just can't personally move past that. But I would recommend Signalis to anyone who likes survival horror. Like, anyone. Knowing that they might fall off the control scheme like I did. Like, I would still genuinely be like, yeah, buy it. It's not that much. Give it a shot. It's that good that I was like, I'm gonna buy it knowing I'm not gonna be able to finish it ever. You deserve my money because you should be allowed to stay in business and do more things. Like, one of those games, there's a couple games on Steam and stuff, I have games like that where I'm like, no, this is good enough that, like, and I enjoyed what I played. It's just like, I can't, the control scheme starts to wear on me over time.
That's fair. That's completely fair. I will say
That game's soundtrack is insane, by the way.
It is
Insane. Maybe one of the best soundtracks in indie horror right now, in my opinion. Signalis is next level fucking insane vibes the whole time. That soundtrack, I've listened to that OST. Listen to that OST sometimes. That shit's freaky.
The I think I will say with Signalis is that if you do play it, there's 3 different inventory types: classic, the revised, and then there's one that's expanded. Just go with expanded. Trust me, the amount of backtracking you do in that game.
Yeah, it's very backtrack heavy.
It's just
Which was the style back in the day.
Well, that's the thing. Like you would backtrack a lot because you didn't know what you were doing, and that's fair. But the problem is that like the way that this game is with the amount of what's it called also my dog's at the door, but don't worry. But the amount of things that are going on, like for instance in Resident Evil, yeah, there were a lot of key items that would be like in mansions and whatnot. But the thing is that a lot of the key items would what's it called they would be used up almost instantly, or they would be very relatively close to where you would need to use them. Or if they were in some, or if you weren't going to use them in a while, you could almost safely put it away without being like, oh god, I have to now go back and pick it up or whatnot. And the way like at least Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 original like were like there was just a lot of places where you can go and pick up stuff with Signalis. Oh, there was maybe like 3 places at most where had to go, so you had to travel so far to grab your stuff.
Yeah, it was
So,
very, very like I remember that being an issue, but yeah, still would recommend, especially if they. I don't know if they even had those options when I first played the game.
It might not have. I know. Originally, like they didn't have those things. It wasn't until much later where they, did the whole inventory stuff afterwards. Like they had to like go in. It's like, oh, we heard people's complaints and we did inventory changes, sort of thing. And it's like, yeah, no, I think it's a game where it's if it really wanted to take part of the like aspects of each different like survival horror back then, it really should have taken the Silent Hill 2 inventory of it, because at least with that game, like you can pick up key items, keep them in, cause and then just kind of use them as you need to go, and it would have made things flow much more smoothly, and I think it wouldn't have been as frustrating as it was.
Right. Sorry, I was just moving something this one away from the mic. Anything else you've been playing this week?
Funny enough, going to Hollow Body, which kind of has
Right, Hollow Body.
aspect, it is another survival horror game. That,
Yep, I know. This is another one you recommended from a wish list past. I remember all these.
Yeah, so this one's British survival horror.
Yeah, that is what Hollow Body is.
Yeah, I finished it like in one sitting. Essentially, it's not a very long game. The voice acting was from fine to oof. But
Okay.
like I don't know. It's
Technically, so is the original Silent Hill 2 voice
Yeah.
acting. Yo, that
It-
letter
it-
though,
it-
you're never gonna match that letter read. That letter read is
Yeah.
iconic. Dude, that letter
Oh.
read lives in my mind. There's a drawer I can open and it's just an audio file .wave, not even MP3 .wave of that letter read from Silent Hill 2. Bro, that shit broke me as like a child. That gave me like an existential crisis. Like him reading that letter in that tone, like my brain was just like, what is happening here? Am I alive?
What's going on?
Like, dude, I was like 8 or something, and I was just like out of body experiencing life because of that letter rate. That shit was insane. Back in the day, dude, we didn't have voice actors. We just grabbed some random guy off the street in a jacket,
Yep.
paid him $20, read this shit. That's
Yeah.
not a
Well,
joke. That's
and,
how
I
the
mean,
game
to be
was
fair, again,
made.
it's a small company and everything, so I'm not gonna like give them so
Yeah.
much like. But yeah, I still like there were still some good moments in
Mhm.
there.
Got you.
But I don't know. You thankfully can mostly outrun everything, which is I guess one good thing when it comes to survival horror. It's like how much can you avoid combat?
Mm-hmm. Or at least move to a situation where the combat is more favorable to you in a resource way.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say like at least they nailed that. But it still felt very clunky because here's the thing, like I think originally they were just going for the fixed camera
Mm-hmm.
tank controls, but there was a whole thing that they added which was third person and modern controls to it, and that definitely felt great. Um but I think some things of the game kind of break when it was played like that. So it's I don't know. I don't know if I would completely recommend it, but I would probably just give the game at least a check, just to kind of look up a video or gameplay of it, and just to see if that
Got you.
interests you. But
It sounds like it's one of those. It's a recommend, but it does have some like foibles that
Yeah.
either will be too high of a cost for your personal mental like brain goblin, right?
Mhm.
Or it won't. It's one of those that's if the interest is high enough, check it out for yourself in whatever manner you deem fit, cost wise or sale wise. It's one of those that like it's got a thing or two that's gonna either hold you up or it won't. It's just one of those games. There's a lot. I've learned that like Neo was like that for a lot of people that I expected to like Neo 1 and 2, and they're like the fucking items get to me, and I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, you just all this crap you're picking up, but I'm like, so don't pick it up. And they're just like, what do you mean? It was like, don't pick it up. It's a white. Why would I pick it up? It's a white. I'm not picking that up at the start of the game. Fuck that. Blue or above, baby. I ain't wasting time. And I loved it, but it's just Diablo, right? It's just Souls-like with Diablo. So, and I love Diablo because, like, but like, perfect example, Patrick from the Castle, the wonderful lads at Castle Super Beast hates that. He would rather it at a certain point the game automatically just drop like crafting resources that you're just gonna break down shit you don't want to anyway in. Whereas I'm like, yeah, but if I'm playing the game and I'm getting to the point where I'm crafting weapons anyway, or caring to engage with that, which you don't have to in any of those games, because you could just farm drops if you don't want to get into crafting and rolling for shit. And that's only to absolutely min-max to peak, which you don't have to do for any reason at all. So, but like, it's there if you want it, but like, so easily ignorable to me, it doesn't bother me. But like, he can't stand it. And I learned from watching Super Beard Bros play Elden Ring, as they are doing right now. Brett plays Souls games offline always, which is insane to me. And it's not because he doesn't enjoy the PvP and Invader or the co-op. It's because he hates seeing all the little messages on the ground. Yeah, and I'm just like, wait a minute. The clutter of that is what makes you say no to half of the game's content? That's crazy to me. But like, again, that's your brain goblin. It is either going to stop you and you need a solution or not. And it like, to me, I struggle to even entertain playing Souls games that have no online. Because I'm like, no, that's part of it. That's the point. Is I could be invaded when I call for help. And that I can, like, call for help. The weird, disjointed co-op PvP is such a crucial part of every Souls game I've ever enjoyed. I spend a very large amount of time as both a co-op and PvPer and playing through the game. Like, I just genuinely love summoning people in. Or, like, letting people invade me and just being like, what are you doing? What are you about? Right? Like, okay, his name's Indy Joe. He's rolling up to me in like a weird shirt. He's pulling out the whip. He's committing to the bit, despite how he knows it's a terrible build. Right? Like, I'm fascinated by interacting with other people's builds in games that I like builds in. So, like, I'm willing to almost cater to any kind of nonsense to get my weird, disjointed online PvP, because I'm just like, yeah, what are you about? And, like, fight clubs, like, bro, Souls fight clubs are, like, my favorite thing. I love the dual etiquette of PvP, too, because there's fight club etiquette, and then there's, nah, dog, you just got invaded etiquette, right? Like, we're either gentleman's handshake, we're allowed, or sips, or nobody's sipping. Sipping's for losers, right? And it's 1v1 unless it's 2v2, like, to the point where Dark Souls 3 and forward literally had, like, Fight Club DLC to make it even easier for people. But there was always dedicated, this is where the community has decided a Fight Club is built, right? In every game. And then there's also, okay, but, like, if you're co-oping and allowing yourself to be in an invadable state at any point that's not a Fight Club and you get invaded, sure, maybe he'll go Fight Club rules with you. But, like, I'm gonna be honest, if I'm playing Bloodborne and I'm invading and I'm just invading anywhere and not doing Fight Club shit, and I invade and you have the gall, the audacity to bow at me or wave, yo, get Evelyn, motherfucker, one shot, blood tinge build. Let's go! Hit you with the dance on the emote, too. This ain't no Fight Club, baby. We don't got etiquette over here. I'm just here for the killing. You want that etiquette, you go to the Fight Club. I love that shit. I love, like, how weird and almost bad Souls PvP and co-op is, that it's so ingrained in the experience that I can't imagine playing a game without it. You'll notice I've never played a single player only one, ever. I've tried the demos, but I don't like Sekiro because of that. I don't like the Pinocchio thing because of that. The closest one that caught my attention was Inotria, and I played a lot of the demo, but then I never bought the game, because it's single player only, and I'm like, oh, if you had online co-op and PvP, you had me. You had me. It's also why I like Neo so much, is because it's there. There's my goofy, kind of bad co-op PvP that I love so much. You know what it is? It's because it's regardless of whether I'm PvPing with efficacy or without it or co-oping, I always kind of have the same thought no matter what your character looks like, whether you're an enemy or a teammate or whatever, where I'm just like, look at this fucking guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's how I feel when I meet every NPC in a Souls game, right? Regardless of what the character archetype is, the response to Onion Knight is the same response to, like, guy made of flesh and teeth. Where I'm just like, look at this fucking guy. Look at this fucking Dark Souls ass guy. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what the character is, whether I kill them immediately, interact with their questline, and like, it doesn't matter, right? There is something peculiar about every interactable, like, character in a Souls game, if it's good, that somehow is carried over perfectly into other players for me. And I didn't, like, make this happen. It's just, from day one, the first time I got invaded, it was like some fucking freakazoid with some fucking weird ass hammer, and he just looked like a fucking shit. And I was just like, look at this fucking clown. Look at this fucking clown. And then he, like, did some crazy backflip and nearly killed me. And I was like, alright, clown's got some moves. Like, it's just, there's something compelling about it to me, where anytime I see anyone, like, I spend a lot of time just, like, pulling up the summon sign at people leave and just looking at the character name in the face, and I'm just trying to, like, from that, I'm like, what is your build? That's my game I'm playing. I'm just, like, looking at the name in the face, and that's what I base off how I summon, because I'm trying to be like, what the fuck are you about, you absolute fucking freak? Like, what is this game? Like, I love it. I love how, like, weird it is. I once fought a dude in Dark Souls 2 that all he did was he had 2 little buckler shields.
Mm-hmm.
And he just parried everything. And he was called the Parrier. And one shield was for 100% like success. Like if he did the parry well, he's not taking any physical damage with that buckler. Mm-hmm. If he did the parry well with the other buckler, he doesn't take any magic damage. He can't actually attack me, because he has to spend all his stamina going for parries.
Yep. So
he can only win by attrition by parrying moves back at me. If they're projectile magics that happen to work that way, of which I was not using any. So he couldn't kill me, but I also could not kill him, because he just kept parrying, and he just didn't fight me. And I was just like, look at this fucking freak, dude. Look at this guy. What an asshole. This motherfucker. And then, you know, it just went on until we were just, like, emoting at each other. Because, like, yes, I guess I can go up and try to punch him, but he can just physically parry it. So, like, I've used everything. He still has stamina to parry. I just don't really have any more attacks worth doing. And we're just emoting at each other, because he's never gonna fight me. And then he just leaves, so it counted as a win for me, and my coven got an upgrade. And I was just like, yeah, sure, thanks, weirdo. Thanks, freak, good looking out. Like, what a loser. I love that guy's energy, though. And then what did I do in Dark Souls 3? Got to New Game Plus as fast as I could, so I could have 2 giant shields, and put them together, and just invade people right at the end, heading to the last fight on that narrow stretch. And I would invade them there, and I would just build pure health and stamina and a respec, and I would just put the shields together, do the joint skill where you run at them basically holding a giant stone door, and you just Kirby them right off the edge, like it's Super Smash Bros. 64. You push them right, they don't play the game, you put them right off. And then you just go, I'm very sorry, at them, and you do that for about 7 hours of your life at one point when you're 18, and it's the happiest you've been in years. That's what Souls games are to me. That goofiness of, like, this is 1 second away from... The only reason it's not a D&D campaign is because there's not people voice acting, like, as people, right? Like, it's just so goofy, where it's just like, what am I... who are these fuck... Like, the amount of times I like got invaded by some duo that's clearly playing together their whole lives, and they're just both like freaks that complement each other in some way. And I'm like, God, I fucking hate these. But like, I love them for it. Like, oh, I've been invaded by Squidward and like Patrick and SpongeBob, and like it's as close to it as they could get it, and even the abilities they're using like fit the thing as close as they could get it. And I'm like, you fucking losers really put so much time into this, you pieces of shit. But I love it. It's what I do in the games, you know? That's a big part of it to me. So it's one of those things. What is your brain goblin like, and what is your brain crow like? And depending on what those are, it depends on whether you can play some of these games or not,
Yes,
basically.
exactly.
So, anything else you've played?
Let's see. So results to I don't think I talked about this previously.
Mhm.
Yeah. Menace from the Deep. I managed to get that game.
Menace from the Deep, is that's the card thing?
Yeah, that's the card.
Yeah, I grabbed it as well. I've chipped away at it a little bit. Like, it's good. Again, one of those that, like, there's enough going on here that I really appreciate. Whether I'll stick with it or not, I don't know. I've beaten, like, a boss. But, like, I really like it, and I like the tone it hits. Aesthetically is appealing to, like, the old kind of shitty monster movie era. You know, like... Wolfman Goes to London fucking shit. Like, you know, that kind of crap. And I'm like, yeah, this is real dumb. These guys are idiots. I fucking love it. These fucking clowns over here messing with powers they couldn't possibly understand. No one seems like a cool guy, you know? It's just like, oh, these guys are fucking losers. This is not the A-team. And, like, I like that, so and I enjoyed the demo, so I bought it and played it. But even in, like, a full run to get through a thing, I was already feeling, like, my inherent dislike of card battlers along the way. I just don't find them very engaging.
That's very
But, like, you know, it's fun for what I played out of it. I haven't gone back to it since I first played it, but, like, bought it nonetheless. I was like, there's enough here that I appreciate that I'll give you the little bit of money you were asking for, because it was, you know, indie game and shit. It is not a thing I would pay, like, full price for, obviously, because I'm like, nah, fuck off.
Exactly. What was I? Apart from that, these two I'm just gonna mention off just quickly, just because I played them, but I really don't care about them.
Gotcha.
Marvel Rivals and
same thing
called Stranova.
Okay, Stranova's the anime shooter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, one of the many these days.
One of the many.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have a little bit to say about Marvel Rivals because I gave it an attempt. But nothing good. Which is funny because I'm like the biggest Marvel fan, so I would be the target audience because I'll buy the skin. You got that rogue skin? Nah, you know which one I want. No, not the Southern Belle from that. Yeah, there you go. The old goth one? Yeah, that's the one. That's the correct skin. Good job. I'm sure it'll be there. But, like, hey, this game sucks. Like, people won't stop gushing about it to the point where I'm like, how is this fun to you? First of all, I like my critique of like this is very harsh, so just heads up, I'm about to shit all over this thing you might love. Any game that has roles in it that has no restriction to roll queue, it means one of two things. Either your roles are fake and meaningless fluff that add nothing and only conceive as a layer of thin veneer to mask other problems in the game via obfuscation, or you don't know how to make the type of game you're making. Right? Like, either they matter or they don't. Either they're a lie or you did it poorly is the two answers there. There's no point to having roles and no restrictions. In fact, there's negative points to doing that. It's just misleading then. There's no point. And the fact that, like, there's a competitive queue that also is they've stated outright they're gonna trust the players to figure out the comps they need. You think Overwatch comp is toxic? Are you insane? You realize no one wants to play support ever, right? Which means unless your game is designed in a way that supports are never actually needed, in which case roles don't matter and are fake, then your competitive scene is doomed to be the largest cesspool of anything anyone's ever seen, because no one wants to be the support except the people who already do. And they're always the lowest amount of players per game in any game, whether it's PvE, PvP, insert genre, doesn't matter. Everyone wants to be main character DPS, then tank. No one wants to be support, comparatively. And if the roles actually matter, and you implemented them right, but don't understand what type of game you're making, then every team it's gonna be bad. Holy fuck, it's gonna be bad. Like, wow. Yikes. Also, like, visually, I think it's a fucking vomit fest. I cannot tell you what is going on at any second from any angle with any... There is no way to decipher that screen. I can't even tell you, like, when I played it with Lizzie, I was playing it and I was telling her, I don't know what the objective is. I don't know where it is. I don't know where anything is or what it is. There is so much mess on the screen. And I'm just like, also, this art style is the most generic version of this art style I've ever seen. Like, it just feels so like... This was the safest, most bland way to make the flashiest, all-substance, no-quality hero shooter money cash grab I've ever seen in my life. This game is objectively bad. It is a mess to watch. It is a mess to play. It has made no attempt to create a cohesive way to understand it. The menus feel bloated and flashy. The post-game lobby shit is so flashy and confusing, I couldn't even figure out how to, like, thumbs up people. There's no context for, like, the pace of the game when you're going. The level of imbalance going on is that people have already figured out how certain combinations of heroes in a game with no role restriction, even a competitive level, can straight up just spawn camp. Hey, if you do Thor and Captain America here on this map, you can hold every possible combination of 5 people, 6 people coming out of that forever because of the tunnel, and they can never get out. 2 people can hold any 6 here forever if you pick them and get there first. And you will get there first if you spawn on this side and know about this. There's like whole areas where it's like, hey, this character can just make entire teams spawn outside the map forever with their ult if they get there first. Like, it's the most laughable, imbalanced, poorest, piss-poor attempt at a hero shooter ever. And I'm really not sure who this was made for, but everyone seems to love it, and I think it's the sloppiest, messiest... It is the most quantity over quality example I have ever seen in my life. Like, I genuinely have nothing good to say about Marvel Rivals. It makes me want to throw up. Like, we lost interesting games along the way to get something like this. And I'm just like, this is garbage. It's just the garbage that the majority of dipshits are willing to consume. This is fan service at its worst, in my opinion. Because that is the only reason a soul alive has touched this game. You strip that of Marvel, dead in the water, never fucking launches out of alpha. Gone. Faster than Concord, faster than that gravity shooter game that nobody remembers the name of, faster than Radical Heights. This game would die faster than all those if it was not Marvel, because it's the most nothing thing I've ever seen. There is not an iota of anything of value in this game. The only reason it makes a penny is because Marvel. That's it. That's all it is. It is, holy fuck, it just drives me insane that that's the thing that, like, is the hero shooter everyone fucking loves. Out of everything we've had, that's the one? This absolute fucking, like, puff piece game? Like, holy crap, lowest common denominator, like, bullshit. And it's crazy because, like, I am, like, the biggest Marvel fan. If anybody should love a Marvel hero shooter, it should be me, the lady that was playing Overwatch literally up until today. Like, do you know how many shooters I've played across my life? Like, it should be for me. And the fact that I'm so against it should tell you everything you need to know. Because when I'm for something, I'll dig my teeth into it all day. Anthem was great, sue me. Concord was great, sue me. Y'all just have piss poor taste. Marvel Rivals is a puff piece that doesn't see the light of day without the Marvel. Meaning, it's the most substanceless, nonsensical bullshit cash grab we've ever seen. It is, in my opinion, the ultimate sin of the live service era. Because it's not even that it's, like, bad, it's just nothing. It's just nothing. It's just nothing. There's nothing here except the Marvel. That is what it is. That is what it will always be. Like gameplay, there's nothing of value about this game. And the fact that like almost every character, even though they have more characters than Overwatch, is like a 1-to-1 copy of something, like I could just go on. I could go on because there's no end to how bad I can make this seem, and there's no way to make it seem better for a second. Absolutely, maybe the biggest, like, disappointment of the whole live service era. Straight up, in my opinion. Like, insane that this thing is here. And everyone gushes about it. Like, insane. To me, to the point where people that like are usually pretty harsh critics of shit like this are somehow gushing about how good it is, and I'm like, what are you, like, getting paid by them? What is this? Because like I feel like if this was not a Marvel game, all these people would be critiquing it, but because it's Marvel, we're like, oh, I got my character, and I'm like, wow, you're so easily pleased, bought out without them even having to buy you out. At least I'd have to make them pay me. Shit. If they paid me a bunch, I'd lie out my teeth. Yeah, I'll take the money. I live in capitalism and I'm a queer. Yeah, I'm gonna take the money. Eat a dick. The one I wouldn't have anymore because I paid for my surgery. Like, fuck off. But, like, at least I have the integrity to not suck this thing's cock while it's free to play and is absolutely nothing of substance. Because it's nothing. Dude, it's so... I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, I went in open-minded and instantly I'm just like, this is a fucking mess. And it's a mess because there's no substance. It's the most shallow, weightless, like, see-through bullshit ever if you actually look at it with any sense of, like, critiquing it and, like, what is the game? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's Marvel. Like, it's so empty. It's lifeless to me. Which is crazy because it's, like, the most vibrantly colorful hero shooter ever, and it's the most lifeless one. It's crazy. I hate it. Did you have more? We could go into mine because we're actually pushing into the 3 hours here.
I think I really hit everything because a lot of stuff is
okay.
Is stuff that I've played already.
Gotcha. Yeah. Nope, so for sure. Alrighty. Okay, so I've been playing some stuff. I did make the switch to a wireless keyboard and mouse recently, and it's been really good. Really enjoying the Logitech tech there with the light speed tech. Really, the freedom to be able to position shit where I need for maximum comfort has been game-changing. I did check out Path of Exile 2 Early Access because Diablo at the time was bugged out for me in a way I couldn't fix, but the new keyboard and mouse fixed that. I like PoE 2 for the exact reason I don't like PoE 1. PoE 1 is Diablo, but in a manner I don't enjoy. I want Diablo. PoE 2 is not Diablo. It's like a Souls-like ARPG. Really, more than anything. Like, straight up, like, the way fights proceed, it just... It's slow, it's kind of clunky and shit, at least as much as I played. Whereas PoE 2 is zip, zoom, zap, zap, blah, blah, blah. PoE 1. 2 is, like, slower and clunky and a little less convoluted, at least in early access, in terms of, like, trying to understand it. And I liked it more than 1. It stands out as more of its own thing, even if apparently most PoE 1 fanatics hate PoE 2. So I played that a little bit. Diablo's back on the menu for me, so I'm now back on that. I was playing Need for Speed again a bit. I went back to Heat. I went back to the Need for Speed first reboot. I went back to Unbound, and I actually picked up, like, the full version of Unbound on a sale for, like, $1 on PlayStation. And I played a fair amount of it, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, it's good. But, like, it's not Most Wanted and Carbon good. And until it's that good again, I'm never gonna really sink my teeth into them. Because that was just so good, and I've never gotten that again. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, I was playing a lot of until the multiplayer became the most hackable game in the world, and I learned that you cannot separate the files down to just zombies, so on PS5, that's like 100 gigs I have to have just to play zombies. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Because I only have 500 gigs, and I'm definitely not running Monster Hunter Wilds on my PC. That is a low-tier 30 series graphics card. That's not a smart move. I'm going to run it on the PlayStation, where it'll run good. So, because I know I can run the COD, especially if I'm just doing zombies. So I will buy it, because the zombies is good enough that even with online lobbies being Hacker Town for me, and everyone apparently, if they ever get the multiplayer fixed, I really enjoyed it. But, like, the zombies is really good. I really like the new map. Citadel Mort is really good. It felt like a nice, proper zombies map. And I was really enjoying the zombies experience. So I am going to get the game for PC. Just because, like, the zombies is worth it. But I am a zombies fan, always has been. And I hope the map coming does cool stuff as well, even if it's smaller. I'm happy to go back to a tomb. Like a tomb in the desert. We haven't done that in a while. And I will say that, again, the big maps, Citadel, Mort, and Terminus, are impeccable. Very good maps. Like, from start to finish. Like, I really enjoy both those. And if I had it on PC, I'd always be down to just switch between those two until I get the next map I really like. And I still dip into Liberty Falls. It's just, it's not my preference. But, like, I do still stand by my statement, even as hackable and fucked as multiplayer is, that the zombies alone is good enough that I'm gonna buy it again. I'll just probably catch it on a sale. But, like, I'm buying the fucking game again. If there was not cross-play or cross-progression, I wouldn't, though. So, for whatever that's worth. Warframe 1999 came out in December. Real Devil May Kojima energy going on. The 90s, 20s vibes are so spot on, I'm getting a little scared sometimes. And the, like, the conversations you get to have with the characters is really fun. I'm romancing Monster Mommy, who's gonna French me with her monster tongue at the end on New Year's when we watch a nuke go off in the alternate past future. It's great. Yeah. I was all about cute little bubbly mag girly, Owie, who threatened to rip out my intestines and hang me by them. And I was like, aw. And then I met Monster Mommy, and I was like, aw, tell me more.
Tell me more.
And she was British too and really tall, and I'm just like, why don't you step on me a little bit? Love her, she's great. Been experiencing like hella game burnout, which I can't tell is just like, is it just I'm getting older? Is it just the way games play now? Is it just burnout? Is it just the whole transitioning thing and mental health shifting and building an identity in your 30s after not having one for 30 years? So, like, I've, like, literally, as of today, I made the decision that I'm not, and I think I said this earlier in the show, I'm not going to play any more PvP shooters until if Marathon comes out. Destiny was the most fun PvP I've ever had. Straight up. Like, that game feels good to do the thing in. And I really like extraction shooters, because the risk is meaningless to me, because it's always risk. So there's no, like, risk management done in that way means there's no risk to me. Like, go in with nothing, go in, it doesn't matter. Because one dumb, unlucky thing could fuck me. And I lose it all. It doesn't matter. Just go. It's just about the run now. The run now is all that matters. I don't need to worry about the risk beyond the run, even though that's what other people think about. Whoa, do I bring all this now? It's like, no. Once I'm in, I'm throwing shit together. I'm trying shit out. And I like just going in with shit and just being like, what am I doing here? And I liked the aesthetic, so we'll see if it ever exists. It is up on PlayStation Store. You can, like, wishlist it and shit. But haven't heard anything, but we'll see. Because if Sony's kind of, like, not to praise Sony too much, but, you know, again, we talked about it. This, like, stepping away a lot from a lot of live service stuff. And, like, Marathon reportedly being, like, I think I've heard everything. There's been rumors it's free to play. There's been rumors it's gonna be a $40 cost. There's rumors it's a full cost. And I'm like, there's so many rumors, we know nothing right now. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't go free to play. I would feel better if it was just like a full cost game and you're just building a really good game and that's the game. I really hope we start seeing more of that, so I'm going to keep an eye out, but stepping away from the PvP shooters until otherwise, because I'm just not enjoying them at all anymore. Like, straight up. Just absolutely just numb while I play them.
Yeah.
And I've played them most of my life. Like, they're definitely the most, like, prevalent genre throughout my life just because of the popularity of the genre itself. I got my League first Penta in a non-ARAM game.
Nice.
I've been playing a lot of League of Legends, actually. They reworked the map. There's a whole new, like, First Blood feat system. They're, like, theming the map. Hey, guess what? Hey, Arcane? League is now Arcane, in case it wasn't clear, because the new music video to announce the first official, like, season of League of Legends in the sense of, like, it's got a theme and a structure and not just this is ranked season 13 is called Welcome to Noxus, and the cool musical trailer for it was actually just a cool musical animation done by Fortishay that features characters from Arcane going to Noxus and literally ends with a fucking cutscene that is clearly from the forthcoming show that will take place in Noxus.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you want to know what the people from Arcane have been? They're already on the next show. Or it's time for Noxus now. Like, it's the same animation. It's just an episode of Arcane, in fact. Down to, like, the choreography, and, like, it is literally as good as any moment of Arcane. Like, you're just watching a very shorter episode of, hey, here's where we're taking characters next that is still gonna have more stories to tell, and here's new characters. Including, this is also how we found out LeBlanc is getting a rework, visually. Because she looks real good in that Arcane art style, right? Like, it has never been more clearer that Arcane was very successful. Riot is investing in the League of Legends IP by doing the smart move and investing in the Arcane IP. Whatever that show's called, let us be very clear. Whatever any of this universe is that it's being built around, Arcane is the thing now. Honestly, as long as they just, like, give Fortishay the money and let them cook, I'm good. Do it. Do it. Cut him loose. Cut him loose. Sign their check, just like Sony does for Mr. Kojima, and just let the man cook. He don't miss. Fortishay don't miss. Just, they did it. Just lock it in. Lock it in. Because if you don't lock it in, someone smarter than you will. Lock this studio in, Riot. You have so much money. Just, like, don't micromanage at all. Just touch base. Make sure they're not abusing the money, you know? Trust but verify. But let them do their thing. And until they show you they can't do it anymore, honestly, as little oversight as possible. Like, however the balance of them working together work to get Arcane, maintain exactly that, please. Holy fuck do I want a show remotely even close to Arcane in the 4 other main regions with a bunch of cool-ass characters. Hey, guess what, Mel from Mage Mommy Mel from Arcane, she's in League of Legends. Hey, that's a Stella character right there. Let me tell you about that Mel. I haven't played her yet, but I've seen that kit. Ooh, I'm gonna get real good with that spell parry. Ooh, I'm gonna get real good with that spell parry. I've been playing a lot of League of Legends, actually. My support reign continues. Shout out to my 2 new mains in support. Milio! And let me introduce you to some Rel gaming, old man. Do you know about Rel? What you know about the Rel? I played a game this morning where I stole 3 dragons by fighting the enemy jungler in the pit while he's doing the dragon, killing him and stealing the dragon in a 1v1 as Rel at half health. I would just walk up there while my ADC's fighting that bot lane, take it from him and kill him, and then walk back to my ADC quietly making their way to me and hand them a double kill. I did it 3 times in a row. I just literally was like, no, you just don't get, I don't think you understand how this, like, to the point where he was a Yi player too, and he kept yelling, my dragon, again. By the 3rd time I typed, how many times I gotta teach you this lesson, old man?
How many times I have to teach you this?
Like, dude, Rel is I have never, I think, I've gotten like 4 S pluses on Rel. I've played 6 games. I have never picked up inherently how a character works more organically in my entire life. I got a godlike today as support in a regular match. I got godlike. I think that's like 10 kills without dying as support. 3 of those with the jungler that I soloed while fighting the dragon and taking damage from him and the dragon. And I just didn't care. And I was just like, no, you die here. My new thing is I apparently am the anti-jungle for my jungle. Because, like, I'm light roaming, where I'm not really going too far from my lane, but I'm just going up into my jungle and I'm warding the fuck out of it and just hiding in a bush. And then their jungle is coming for our blue, and I'm just sitting there. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm looking at that jungle health bar go down, and I'm looking at the monster bar go down, and I'm just like, okay, now. And I just dive out of it, take the buff, kill him, and then walk down to my lane to keep my lane from dying. Over and over and over until they learn a lesson. No. You don't get this side of the jungle now. This is my side of the jungle. You have to go back to yours where my jungle is. You don't get to play the game. Now I'm Rel. Level 1? Level 1? I'm diving you under this tower. Right now. Yeah, right now. I'm gonna get the level 2 off the kill. I'm gonna dive back in at half health. I'm gonna walk out at 10 health every time. Every time. That fucking character is so strong. She's so crazy. She's so good. I love Rel. Rel and Melio, I'm doing bad things to people with Rel and Melio. Melio is unfair. Melio is crazy. You just heal forever. Just not.
Melio is really fun when you do his Q and he kicks the ball. It's just like
Melio! Dude, I love spamming the Melio taunt where he's like over and over at people, and then sidestepping like a skill shot by a pixel at the last second, flashing in and just dropping the heal on me as I slow walk back to my lane teammates so they can just unload into them, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm using my body as a shield for them because I'll just heal myself back up, it's fine, whatever. And you can't chase because it lasts so goddamn long and follows me that now both of us are being healed and he's nearly killed both of you. And then when they disrespect me, I'll like step forward and kick the soccer ball again and get a double kill and just emote at them. Melio! I just type it in the old chat. Melio! Every time I kill someone. I've stolen a Baron with his Q.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
no.
yeah, dude, sitting in the bush that they didn't ward. The only bush they didn't ward, I have like 10 health. Because they thought I like got away and teleported away, because I always want teleporters support. Or bead back, right? And I'm just still in the bush. And I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. Queued it right over, got it. Bro, they were so mad. They were so mad. They were so mad. And they didn't even kill me afterwards. I just got away. I just left. I hit him with the Melio. It's so good. It's so toxic. It's so toxic to just type Melio, but it's so funny. I love this little football kid. The football kid is great. New main unlocked immediately. Football kid and horse girl. This is my new squad. This is who I play now. I think the worst is I'm like a former Lux support main. So like, you get real good at landing those Qs. So when you get shit like Rel, that's like easier to land, or like Melio's, where it's like kind of like, just throw it out there. I'm just like, yo, all that practice landing skill slots didn't matter. I could just play Melio and Rel and not give a fuck. You just not have to worry about accuracy. Dude, I won a Nautilus game where I missed nearly every hook.
Oh my god.
I kept hooking into walls, but like my recovery positioning is so good that like I'm just like, yeah, I'm missing every hook, but you're still scared of that. Which means I get to just be a meat wall. And I was really good at it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm missing the hook, but it is getting me closer to you. And then you're so scared of the hook, you're moving even though I'm missing. And then I'm close enough to just, I'm going to put my shield up. I'm going to do my little E. I'm going to slow you with that. I'm going to melee you. It's my first melee hit on you. So you get immediately locked down. You're half dead already. Oh, my hook's back up. I'm going to throw it out at the minion I accidentally hit to keep me close to you. Then I'm going to ult you and slow you with the melee proc again. And in this time, you've killed you've done like 4,000 damage to me, but I'm Nautilus, so I don't care. And I'm just gonna slowly walk away and emote at you, because I don't actually need to land any of these hooks to win this game. In fact, I never do. He's got more than the hook, and they really don't respect that. I'm like, I don't need to land this. If I land it, you're just dead. That's the difference. The fight's just over now instead of 2 minutes from now. But yeah, League's pretty good right now. Diablo 4 new season starts today in like 11 hours or something. Big excite, because that is just like, that is my type of ARPG. That is my fun, cozy vibes game. Like, I just mindlessly play Diablo. It's just good brain noise for me. Dragon Age Veilguard, I've been chipping away at, still chipping away at, and I'm enjoying it, but I am a big Dragon Age enjoyer. I really like the story in this one. I like how it's like doing the best retcon ever by not retconning shit, by retconning it harder than you've ever seen in a way that's so undeniably insane that you're just like, fuck off, you assholes.
You said words that mean something, but do not mean anything in that order that you said.
Oh, no, it makes perfect sense if you've gotten as far as I have. Makes perfect sense.
Okay, I guess.
That makes perfect sense.
I'll trust you on this one.
It makes perfect sense. I mean, I'll give you the gist of it in the short term for dummies, even though I haven't beaten it yet, is that, so, like, the history of the entire world, as humans understand it, from any kingdom, from any creed, from any religion, from any philosophy, wrong, incorrect, a lie, fake, not real. Insert the same thing for elves, Kunari, dwarves, everybody. Hey, guess what? You're all wrong. All of you. It's all a lie. Everything that's ever happened in Dragon Age happened because of history that's not real. The world Dragon Age is not supposed to exist, is the plot of this game. The elven gods were not elves. They weren't even gods. They were spirits that manifested physical bodies, which is why they're so goddamn strong with magic, because they're just fucking made of magic. They're not even, like, supposed to be there. And then it got messy because by giving themselves, like, flesh bodies, they formed, like, new emotions and attachments, and it complicates them. And everything that's ever happened across any Dragon Age is literally just, like, stone throw, create avalanche effect, because Solus just means well, but fucks up a lot. Because he can't ever see the full picture. And he's constant. The entire Dragon Age game franchise is based entirely off one man's mistakes because he loved someone, except they weren't even a man and a woman. They were spirits that took on flesh bodies. Dwarves are descended from titans. They're actually just titans themselves. Solus fucking cut them off from their dreams. The fucking rot plague thing, the dark spawn, you want to know what that is? It's Titan. The blight is the titans. Cut off from their dreams, so they went mad and insane. The titans are still alive. They're just cut off from, like, a sense of themselves, so they're caught in, like, a perpetual nightmare limbo life, which is why the blight is so ravenous, because it's just titans caught in a perpetual nightmare limbo, which is what Solus did when he was, like, fighting the war against the other elven gods who were just spirits like him that became too corrupt with, like, power. They just got greedy, basically. They just fucked up and got greedy. And then Solus was, like, in love with one of them. And it's just, like, it's just a bunch of spirits made of fucking magic that were, like, a spirit of pride, a spirit of this, a spirit of that, who took flesh bodies out of curiosity and ended up becoming two, like, mortal things that have too many emotional things driving them. But because they were just made of magic, they were, like, gods. But they're not gods. They're just nothing. Like, the entire history, wars have been fought, religions have been formed. The entire religion of, like, the creator and the light, like, the chantry, all of it. It's all built on lies of things that aren't real. Every aspect of this entire franchise is a lie. in terms of like a storytelling narrative, and that it's not even meant to be. The veil that separates the world from the demon world isn't supposed to be there. Because the veil is an unfortunate byproduct of her soulless sealing away the last of the elven gods. It wasn't supposed to happen. And Solus gets knocked out and doesn't wake up until Inquisition. Where you end up realizing he's the Dreadwolf guy, and then he's like trying to fix it at the start of this game, and you stop him, and it's just like it feels like it's a retcon, but it's written in a way where it's like it's just the right level of like fantastical nonsense that I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Spirits took on mortal bodies and became as fallible as mortals, but because they had the infinite magic of a spirit, they had too much power, and the consequences of like an emotionally driven being that's complex like that having that much power is catastrophically big. And it's like the stupidest, most like pettiest setup to utter tragedies and lifetimes of war and like blight and fucked up shit that all Dragon Age is, where it's all bad all the time. It's just because of a couple spirits' like curiosity and mistakes. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's really fun to play though. And it's like kind of campy, but like it's working. And then it takes weird dips into being incredibly fucked up and dark sometimes. But like it's fun. It's a good game. I like it. It's Dragon Age. It's taken a long time to finish though. I think it does a good job of like finding the sweet mark between the scale of Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition though, honestly. I think it's like the best size in an area when you go to it, that like in terms of how that works and how missions work and take you back there and into new locations. I think it's like the overall best version of this. And the combat's the best it's ever been. Visually, it's very striking distance-wise, but like as far as writing goes, a lot of people are critiquing it, and I'm just like, it's about on par for Dragon Age. Little campy at times, kind of insane at times, almost going for too much sometimes, but kind of landing it because at the end of the day, it's Dragon Age. It's kind of wacky. Like, people like to say that like Dragon Age Origins is this immaculately written master. It's not. It's definitely fucking not. Go play that game again. First of all, you won't, because that game feels bad to play. Physically. Second of all, no. Half of that game's plot is immaculately rewritten. And half of the characters are immaculately written if you play into them a certain way. The other half is campy or too far an extreme in one way or the other. Just like every Dragon Age and Mass Effect. It's almost like that's what BioWare makes. Right? Like, it's crazy.
The problem is that BioWare is not going to make much more games.
Nope. This is probably it for BioWare at this point, because Anthem was a death knell. Andromeda was the first death knell. And I do not see any more future for BioWare as a studio, plus like a bunch of the last remaining people left just after the game shipped. So that's happened. And the only other thing I tried was I did grab Witchfire in early access, and I've been slowly playing that. Yeah. It's interesting.
Okay.
It's aesthetically, it's really leaning into what it's doing. And like I did not think I wanted a like kind of Doom-esque shooter that's a roguelike Souls thing, but it's fun. You will get your shit rocked easily.
Okay.
You will run out of ammo. It will fuck with you. It's definitely a little rough around the edges, but like what's here and the teases of things to come that are clearly like already planned in development and stuff, like there is enough here to merit keeping in with it. And I think the most interesting part to me is the way they merged roguelike and Souls-like. Because inherently those two are polar opposite designs. So the way this game works, and this is the most fascinating thing, is the bonfire mechanic, the mechanic of a bonfire, is your XP but only beyond a certain point. So the way it works is you go in, the start is like randomized, you're not going to find the same enemies in the same chests and the same whatever in every area.
Yeah, yeah.
But as you like clear an area, and it's kind of vague what the area is, there's clearly like a radius that once you've started fighting things that you clear this area, but it's not as simple as, oh, you're in this room and you killed everything, right? It's a little more, it's vaguer than that, because like it's just like I'm not quite sure what counts, like what the distance is. It's not a thing you can easily figure out visually either. But the way it works is that as you're killing things, they drop like, I forget what they call it in this game. Maybe it's like arcana or essence or something. And once you've cleared the quote unquote area, all the arcana essence from everything you've killed crystallizes into a solid form. You go up and interact with the crystal. You get to pick like a perk for this run to put on that does something.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get a heal off of it. And then that XP becomes like, you know, like you have soul of a hero and you can use it at any time for souls.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something you lose on drop, but your souls that you have from killing things you would lose on drop. What's happened here is after you pick your perk and after you take the heal from the souls that have now crystallized into like a crystal in the room or area, it becomes basically a soul of a hero in your inventory that you don't drop on death. Your XP is your bonfire mechanic after you have successfully cleared the area. Then, if you die, your run is over. That's it. The run's over. That XP is still with you in that item form that you can now consume back at the main hub.
Okay.
Which means, if you don't die and you go to another area and fight things there and do the same thing there, that XP forms into another item. I said, like, the same one. You know, it's not, they don't stack into each other, so that every time you do a successful clear of whatever the actual width of the area is, you are basically turning all the souls you earned through fighting things into a soul of a hero to sit on until your run is over, whether you beat the whole region or die along the way. And if you die, the souls mechanic is still there, because when you die, you do have to do a whole new run. You go back to the hub world. But on that first initial new run, your souls that didn't get crystallized because you died before you completed the area will be in one of those enemies. So you have to get back to that area before dying again to pick them up. So you still get a chance to pick them up, but if you're progressing, your souls, you are a walking bonfire mechanic, basically, per cleared section. So that's how the roguelike ties in with the souls-like. As you clear each section, your souls become their own, like, soul of a hero, and that shit is your built-in bonfire. It's checked. You're good to go. You don't lose that no matter what now. And if you beat the region, you get out, you exit the region through the portal, and you go back to base, and you have everything. But if you die along the way, anything that wasn't crystallized because you died in the fight will be in the area you died. Everything you had crystallized is safe and still with you at respawn in the hub. And you get one attempt, like a Souls game, to get back there and pick it back up. And that's how it works. Instead of it being like a sit down here kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And there are like areas to like rest at. There's like an Estus mechanic and stuff. The magic is a little like tame-ish, but like you can see where it can go. Granted, I'm very early on into it. And the only real gripe I have, because the game feels good to play. I like how it feels. I can see how you could tune it up a bit, but like what's here is solid. My only complaint is that as far as I can tell, whatever class you pick, you're locked in.
Gotcha.
If you want to do a different class, you must back out to the main menu and create a new profile. Like, you know, it's like save 1, save 2, profile 1, profile 2. It's not like it's a big ask, but as far as I can tell, you are locked in. That could be untrue because there's all kinds of stuff in the base that I can't access because my, like, faith level or whatever. My belief in the Pope is not strong enough or whatever. This game is like grimdark Catholicism, is for lack of a better word. Currently, there are 3 regions with names and 3 that are mystery, and you have to like beat them to get to the next one. They did just add an alchemy update, which lets you like brew with items you'll scavenge, like resources to craft things. Also, you don't drop on death at all. The only thing you drop on death is whatever XP hadn't formed into an item that you wouldn't drop death because you died in combat. That's it.
Okay.
Everything else rolls over. Each class is kind of built a little differently. They give a good breakdown of it too. Like you can do a deeper breakdown and scroll through them, and they are literally like clearly, very simply doing a Souls build class. Interestingly, they've doubled down on the level 0 class. The wretch or whatever it is, because they have one of those, and then they have another one that's even harder apparently.
Oh my god.
Like, they have the one that's level 0 and clearly you're a piece of shit nothing starter class, and then you scroll over one more and there's one that's called, like, fucked loser or something. And it's like, it's level 0 and it says in, like, quotations next to it, only pick this if you want to suffer or something. So you have your normal classes that, like, there's your strength build, there's your, like, magic boy starter kit. Then you're level 0 shitlord, and then they have a harder level 0 shitlord.
God.
It is currently only single player, but it's neat. I'm gonna keep checking it out, and I'm really keen to see like where they go with it. I think it's really like compelling in a lot of little ways that has the potential to be like fine-tuned into quite something unique that's really worth investing in if it's your type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it for me. So other than that, as we are just over 3 hours, what do you got for that wish list? Pitch it.
For the wish list. Let's see.
The wish list.
The wish list. I know I added something. Did I talk about Polston?
Polston?
Polston.
No, I don't know what that is.
Alright. So, also another survival horror.
This guy.
But the way this one is, it's interesting because it's like, it's a sort of top-down
Mm-hmm. Okay.
survival horror.
What is this? How is it typed?
Holstin.
Holston. Oh, okay. Yep, I see it. Holston.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh, I've seen this before.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yes. You've actually talked about this before. This was a picture wish list.
Oh my god, I have.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember this because it's the weird Polish one, right? Yeah. Yes. Because I think it was the same podcast where I pitched the thaumaturge, the weird Polish persona thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I remember this, because that moment I read the like little box, I was like, oh yeah, the Polish one, because we both had like a weird Polish thing to pitch that night for some reason.
Okay.
But
Alright,
you know what?
so
Pitch it again. Sure.
All right. Well, I mean, it's just more like the fact that, like, again, survival horror isometric. But the thing is that when it comes down to the combat, it goes into a third-person mode.
Yeah. I remember seeing that. Honestly, I didn't have this one on the wish list, but I'm gonna throw it on there and I'm gonna download the demo and give it a go. Because the idea of like switching between the two is appealing to me. And Poland makes weird stuff.
Yeah, especially because again, it's I think it's that evolution that we're talking about from survival horrors of the old stuff, where like it has the isometric look to it, like it's but they're adding this whole eventive thing that's like, oh well, guess what? When you fight like modern games where it's like third person behind, and you can aim, you can shoot for body parts and stuff. So like it feels like they're doing something new to the genre. Like they're
trying something at least. I haven't seen something like that, so whether it lands or not, I almost don't care. You're doing something different enough that you're clearly taking a risk and not afraid to. You have my attention, at the very least. Certainly more than if you were doing this and playing it safe and just paying homage. Like, this is a statement. Whether it's a good one or not remains to be determined and is almost up to preference, depending on how the execution is. But it's an interesting enough combo that I'm like, yeah, let's see what you got. Especially if you're going to let me get a free demo. which I imagine is going to showcase that duality.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, that I'm actually, since there's a free demo, I'm gonna check that out this week potentially. Then, what do I want to pitch? Is the question here, because I've added a lot over the last couple. Oh, I will say, obviously for me, upcoming this month, next month, I'm hoping to. I should be streaming some more. More regularly, at least once a week, but I've really just kind of been waiting for Monster Hunter Wilds. Very excited. I will be day one-ing it. I will be grinding the fuck out of it all day, every day. And I'm also planning to pick up Avowed. Because I'm really curious about Avowed.
Is that
Avowed
already out?
No, it's literally the same day as Monster Hunter. It's the 18th of next month. It's the same day.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I forgot that game was coming out so soon.
I will be checking out Avowed and Monster Hunter Wilds, but that's not what I'm going to pitch. What I'm going to pitch is... Where is it? Okay. So, this is actually, ironically, I remember that this is, like, I think either from the Game Awards, this was there, but, like, it wasn't one I saw being talked about a lot. And I did show this off to Lizzie, and she was like, whoa, this looks kind of fun, though. And I'm just like, this is a game that is for Stella. And it is called Thick as Thieves.
Thick as Thieves.
Thick as Thieves. A new take on stealth from the man that really stresses, please, one person is not responsible for the creation of a game, aka Warren Spector, the man who constantly gets named as the only person responsible for Deus Ex.
Oh god.
Nothing but respect for Warren Spector. He's spent a career constantly yelling about how multiple people make games and been cursed to be referred to in every article that ever write from the guy that brought you no. Just every time he's like, no one person is responsible from the guy that created Deus Ex, Warren Spector. God damn it. Just continues to make immaculate stealth walking sims, but constantly doesn't want all the credit because he shouldn't. Constantly gets all the credit. Goes to make another amazing stealth game and tries again. So, you know, in 20 years, we'll get there from the mind that brought you Thick as Thieves. It is a PvP, PvE multiplayer stealth game set in a 1910s metropolis filled with magic and intrigue. Hide, sneak, and steal your way through the ranks as you match your cunning against rival thieves in an immersive living world of stories and shadows. A new take on stealth from Warren Spector. The trailer shows off some stuff. It is, like, it actually does show gameplay. Enough that you can see how this works, even if it's a little, like, it feels like it's a little cutscene-y, but, like, there are moments where you clearly can see that, like, yes, here's how that's working. And we know it's gameplay, even if it's, like, a CG trailer, because this is the guy that was, like, developing Deus Ex with people, and then the original Thieves and shit like that, and you're literally just looking at, like, refined Thief Deus Ex gameplay the whole time. Like, even though it's not, like, a gameplay, but that is what the game looks like. The trailer's weird. It, like, is one of those where it's like, this could be gameplay, and just clever camera angles, or, like, a freeform camera they built in, because this is what the fucking game looks like. It's giving Dishonored vibes aesthetically, just because weird, Victorian not thing? You know, where it's like, what time era are you, like, trying to pull from? Where it's kind of not clear, even though it says 1910s. It's steampunky and magic-y enough that it's almost not, like, I can't be like, yes, it's like a Victorian period, right? Even though it's not in our world, but you're like, huh? Almost like, tell me what, like, Zaun's architecture is inspired from. Because everything's inspired from something. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, what era is Zaun inspired from? Good luck. Right? Like, Piltover is clearly, like, technobabble fucking Victorian England society, though. Absolutely, that's what it is. But Zaun is not. But what is... I couldn't tell you, right? Like, Zaun is something. but like it's almost like it's pulling from too many to really narrow it down that much, and that's kind of the vibe I got from this. If you watch the whole trailer, because like aesthetically and the styles of clothing certain people are wearing, I'm just like, oh, this is it's Dishonory, where depending on where I'm at in Dishonor, the cultural influence seems different, like a city would be. I'm a big fan of stealth. I like a good stealth game. And I am a known notorious lover of the highlight of the Assassin's Creed franchise was the sick-ass multiplayer that they did for exactly 2 games. Because let me tell you what we don't ever have enough of. Really good stealth games. Now let me tell you what we have even less of. Really good multiplayer stealth games. We need more. Because, like, there's something very nice in a world where people are aggressive shitheads on the internet in every form they can be, in a game like this being like, yeah, it's PvP, but it's PvE, because it's an extraction game, and it's a stealth game, buddy. How much of a dick do you want to be? Because, like, if you're a dick to me and you get my shit because you're, like, trying to play all aggro, that's cool. That's cool. Hey, did the guards get you? Oh, did you lose everything? Okay. I'm gonna go back in and stealth some shit and get my shit back in like half a run, kid. Call me when you keep up, right? Like, I'm just like, no. This is like, stealth is actually the anti-toxic formula because it's the least engaging. It allows the least direct confrontation possible if done right. So by its nature, it has the least toxicity because there's not a lot of shit you can do to a motherfucker. Like, if you successfully stealth me, I'm either already out of the game, or you stole from me and I didn't know. Right? Like, it just isn't as enabling to toxicity in a PvP setting by its nature. And I love a good cat burglar. Like, come on. I'm in. I'm day oneing this. 100%. I am gonna thick as thieves it up. If this thing has like any kind of comms proximity, bro, I'm about to RP as a gentle lady thief like you wouldn't believe. I'm about to get Lupin the Third up in here like it's nobody's business. I'm gonna be watching. I will watch every heist movie that exists under the sun. You have no idea how many heist movies I've watched in my life. I've played every thief game. Every thief game. Yes, even that one. No, it wasn't good. But I still played it. Because you know what I like? I like a good heist. I love it when a plan comes together. What can I say? I do. I really do. I like it when the plan comes together. It's real good. You know what? I fantasized about forever since I realized what a heist was, and that a coordinated group of small but fringe talented people who somewhat like each other can pull off an immaculate, over-the-top, almost Rube Goldberg machine-esque level heist. That I've wanted to do it. Robin Hood's cool as hell. Always has been, always will be. You know what's cool? Stealing from rich people.
Yeah.
Be gay, do crime. What more do you want? I will do both those things. And that has been Only in Early Access 2025 January, roughly covering a slapdash version of the last 3 months. We'll be off again in November 2025 and December 2025, but we are back to annoy you for a handful of hours, as is tradition, once a month. So you get a 2-month reprieve. And then Vaughn gets to annoy you about Parasite Eve every episode. Yes. And I get to make insanely increasing hot takes that might actually be true, much to everyone else's detriment, and also mine. And that's the show. We'll see you next time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Copyright infringement, legal legality. This is not my
That's it. We're done. That's it.
Bye.
That's the end of the